We'll be starting soon, just fixing up some technical difficulties. Cool. All right. Yeah, I just realized. I am the one who knocks. All right. All right, let's turn it on. We're all here. We're all good.
Yep.
And we're live. Welcome back to Tatts and Tarrasques Sidequest. With me, Dan, your host. We're back in Waterdeep for Lockdown V. You may remember we've got Kate playing. Or Kate, do you want to describe your character for me? Let's go through and just refresh everyone what our characters look like, except for Marcus, who'll we'll get to his character when we see him.
All right, so you're looking at this quite purple-skinned hidden figure, so I guess you can't really tell what she is, but she is drow. She's got very long silvery hair. She's wearing a traveler's cloak at the moment, but when she starts to fight, it unravels and she's very naked. Yeah. That's her.
That's all we need to know.
The level of clothing.
She got the booba.
Dylan, we see your character has just opened up a door. What are we seeing? What does he look like?
So Caiden is a average height, half elf, half human, very tanned, with ashy hair, ash grey. Currently is wearing a dark cloak that sort of shimmers a little bit, but you're not sure if that's a shimmer or a trick of the eye. Doesn't seem to be carrying any forms of weapons or anything. He just holds himself very highly, but also looks like he's not a very friendly person.
All right, and Aaron.
All right. So the captain is a very bronze-skinned elven man. He's quite tall, at 6'5". He's got stunningly blue eyes, long blonde hair with some really nasty dreads in there because he obviously just doesn't bathe very often. Yeah, he's got is it a vial? I think it's a vial on his back. What's he got? Yeah, he's got a vial on his back that he doesn't know how to play, but he'll pretend that he can.
Yeah. And last we left our heroes, they were tasked from a person named Volothamp Geddarm in the city of Waterdeep. They were approached in the Yawning Portal, of all places, a favourite watering spot, a watering hole in Waterdeep. And almost as infamous as Nev's, the 24-hour Neverwinter drinking hole. They were approached by this Volothamp Geddarm, who had been out drinking with his friends earlier a couple of days ago, and his friends had gone missing. His friends being one Floon, Blagmar, and Volo left him. Yet, Floon decided to stay out drinking as he was meeting up with some of his friends. One of them being Flothrael. And no one's seen either of these two drinking companions over the last couple of days. You made your way through the city asking questions, which headed you upon a a drinking establishment of ill repute down in the sort of the dock ward, I believe known as the Skewered Dragon, where you spoke to the bartender there, the tiefling cocktail magician, and at some point I think Loam even spoke to a purple gnome named Zoblob in the Zoblob shop, the old Zoblob shop.
He told me very good stuff.
Due to their investigations, they were led to Candle Lane, where they find themselves now. It's sort of a industrial warehouse district, and they've found markings sort of on Candle Lane of this warehouse. They'd let themselves through the front gate. Caiden had opened up the door, and inside, standing like 30 feet tall, is a desiccated skeleton of a dragon. And as Loam and Caiden, you're right up against this door. I'm going to need you to make wisdom saving throws, as the ferocity of this beast just chills you to the bone.
15.
16.
Okay. Both of you are seemingly unfazed as you realize quite quickly that whilst the dragon draws your eye, Loam, you spot at first that part of it is, you notice bolts in some of the bones holding it together. There's even wire running along some of these bones. This is the skeleton of a dragon, but it is immobile. It is not moving, despite its ferocious nature. Looking down on you, this is a Jurassic Park situation. This thing is perhaps excavated, but is no immediate threat.
For display only.
Correct. The next thing you notice, though, and Loam, you probably noticed it first, is the many corpses littering this room. Where is it here? Yeah. So tables and chairs have been carelessly tossed across the floor, and the corpses of a dozen men lie along the walls, their rapiers and daggers lying nearby. On the north side of the area, you can see behind some crates and barrels and so on, there is a staircase that rises up to an open level above. What do you do?
Can I do a medicine check on one of the bodies to see how it died?
Sure. Yeah, you probably have to go up to him. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
16.
You definitely think that this was the work of blades and bows. The figure is wearing all black. This one in particular is wearing all black. And some of the other figures, or some of the figures in this room, probably about half of them are also wearing the sort of same nightwork kind of uniform. It's only uniform in the sense that it's sort of Melbourne fashion. It's just black. It's old black and new black. Captain, what are you up to?
After falling with great grace, the captain dusts himself off, looks at the two that have opened the door, and turns away and goes looking in sort of north of him where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Towards that, I guess, is it a window?
That's right, that's a window.
Yeah, he's just going to go have a sneaky look inside that window there.
Absolutely. So I'll move you up there because you can't control it. And give me a perception check.
Where's the... Oh, God, where is it? Where? That's deception.
In the skills.
Smack bang down the middle.
That's an 18.
Yeah. So you see, let me just check this. Yeah. So you see, crouched behind some some barrels and boxes, with a bow kind of raised and slowly raising up over the boxes. A short avian creature with a long beak and black feathers, and it's also sort of wearing a hood.
Oh, lovely. Being the big, brave pirate man he is, he's going to duck down and scream at the through the glass. Put that down before I cook you like the fried chicken, ya!
All right, give me an intimidation check, and then we're all going to roll initiative.
Oh, well.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Intimidation, was it?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
We have Caiden on here. There we go. And then you as well.
Oh, yes, the initiative. Oh, apparently I don't have... 10.
Yeah.
Apparently I don't have control of Caiden currently. Oh, no, I do. Okay.
You should. Yeah, it says you're the owner.
What's that door's open. There we go.
Cool. Ice Leeson, what's your initiative?
It is 14.
14. And Philothrael?
I'm actually in this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, may as well give me the initiative roll now.
I've got an 18.
Cool. 18.
So wait.
Oops, I changed Aaron's name to 14 instead of his number.
Yeah. So what's you and Kate have? Who has the higher dex?
It doesn't super matter. It's put Ice Leeson first though in my books.
Oh, so Ice Leeson probably has the higher dex then.
I have one.
Cool. Philothrael, you find yourself you are in a cramped chamber that smells strongly of sour fish and vinegar. It is filled with discarded ropes, canvas tarpaulins, and splintered wood from smashed barrels. You are in here. You ducked in here once the commotion started. You and Floon were brought to this warehouse where your attackers, your kidnappers, became under attack themselves. And you used that commotion to slip your bonds and rush into this storage closet to hide.
Okay.
So you have been you heard for some time the commotion of the battle, but you have not sort of poked your head out to see who the victor was, as it has been quiet for some time.
Okay. Do I know whereabouts I am in regards to this room?
Absolutely. So let me pan the camera up here a little bit. This is you up here.
You'll just have to wait for the delay because I'm watching on screen.
Yeah, that's cool. Can I give you... You have dark vision, don't you? Out to...
I do have dark vision.
Is it 30 feet or 60 feet?
I think 60.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, okay. I've locked myself under the stairs.
Yeah. So you sort of hiding here under this tarp or canvas. No one's sort of come in here to find you. And you obviously got separated from your friends, Floon and Raynar, during the commotion. Your captors, or from what you saw of your kidnappers before the sort of the initial bag went over your head, were that they were mostly human, or at least certainly humanoid, and they dragged you here, separated you all, and asked you a bunch of questions, but that didn't last very long as the warehouse came under attack. Now you of course are still inside this room. You're welcome to do anything. It is your turn though.
Okay. Have I heard anything going on outside yet?
I think yes. You've probably heard someone yell. It comes through somewhat muffled, but something you heard sort of a yell from outside.
Okay, I wouldn't mind rolling a stealth check and maybe trying to open the door and see if I can have a glimpse of what's going on outside. Maybe move behind one of those crates just outside the door.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's roll stealth. No, I don't have a very good stealth. Oh, we got a 12 though. That's all right.
As in, you rolled a 12?
Yeah, flat
Yep.
top. I got no bonus. Yeah.
So you open the door quietly and start making your way out, and you sort of duck behind some of these crates. Give me a perception check.
Okay. It is 16.
Okay. You certainly see. Where are these guys? Yep. So you see. You're quite lucky that there are a number of giant crow men. Well, I guess short crow men, but they're big for crows. Who are not paying attention to you. They are looking out across the warehouse past the dragon that the dragon skeleton that probably gave you quite a fright when you first arrived, though your mind was probably on other things. They're looking away from you down the hall into the warehouse itself.
Okay, well, not really knowing what's going on, I think I'm just gonna stay put. Could I hold an action though?
Yeah. So, well, you can hold an action if you tell me like the condition that it will fire, right? So,
I will hold a firebolt
Mhm.
to if combat begins, and I'll want to shoot the nearest bird to me.
okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, the bird that is closest to the captain, who's sort of just outside, it turns its head. You probably don't have line of sight of this one, Marcus. It turns its head to you, Captain, outside the window though, and because you've startled it, it sort of looses its arrow. I'm going to give it disadvantage to hit Loam, as it was trying to advantage against any creature it's surprised. Yeah. So let's go disadvantage. Is that how I do it? Yeah. Loam does I assume an 8 does not hit. Your AC.
That misses, definitely. Just enough armor.
So just as the Kenku is releases the arrow, it goes flying super wide as the captain kind of yells at this bird and distracts it long enough that it misses its shot wide. The other Kenku, however, are going to attack you, Loam, and they're going to come from advantage, hiding in the dark as they were.
Do I get any cover from that giant dragon skeleton that's kind of in between us?
No, because they've kind of set up to take shots at you, and they've. I'll lessen one of their shots for sure. Does a 14 hit your AC?
Sorry, what was that? 14? No, I missed.
Yep. And then the other one, so that's going to be a 7. So one of them has like leapt up on one of the boxes and loosed an arrow at you, but you're able to sort of duck down by the corpse, and just arrows are starting to fly past you now.
Sorry, the mic was cutting out so much then.
You
missed me, right?
Yes, all the arrows miss you. The arrows fly past you.
I can't hear anything. Do I leave and come back?
Can everyone else hear me, or is it just Kate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay, technical difficulties.
Whilst we're sorting that out, Iceleeson, you've sort of yelled out and then ducked behind the window. You've seen that your shout has interrupted this Kenku shot. What do you do?
Good question. How far is he? He's not that far from me. It's like 10 feet.
Up through the window.
Yeah, he's about 15 feet, but he is sort of through the window behind cover from you. But you could probably climb up on those boxes without problem. Breaking through the window would be interesting, but doable.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. How does this work? Range of 60 feet. Alright, I'm going to cast Cloud of Daggers from where I am.
Ooh.
Thanks for signing me out. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Oh, now I gotta log in completely. Oh, what's the password? Sign me out of everything. I'm gonna get my authenticator back up. This is going well, Dan.
That's all right. I can pull it up. So you're casting Cloud of Daggers. Who did you want to hit?
The one guy that I can see.
Cool. So you fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube 5 feet on each side, centered on a point you choose within range. So yep, definitely he's within range there. 44 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there. So let's draw some Dagger Cloud. Cast the spell on this guy.
Does that stay there in that space?
Yes.
Cool. What's the duration?
Up to 1 minute. So that's 10 rounds.
Nice.
So what do the daggers look like, Captain? As they're just sort of regular daggers. We talking like crazy rapiers, pirate scimitars? What's going on?
Oh yeah, they're definitely crazy pirate scimitars with little viols carved as the handles.
Mm-hmm.
And to cast it, he pulls his own viol out and screeches the bow across the strings, making a sound akin to a dying cat.
Brilliant. The Kenku sort of turns at you, and as the daggers sort of cut into it, we'll do that on his turn. But he lets out a screech almost identical to the sound of the violas screeching there, or pretty much identical. All right, Loam, you've crouched down, you've sort of ducked low, avoided all these shots. It is your turn.
I would like to move up towards them. So I have 30 feet. Up kind of behind the crates.
Yep, so over here behind the crates, to the right.
Yeah, just over to like the left near the wall. Sorry, I can't move myself.
Oh. Interesting, let's see. Let's pull you on the field again, see if that changes. Can you move that low version?
No, it just keeps flicking back. I don't know if I need to like refresh the page.
That's right. So was it to the left, was it?
Yeah, just to the left so that I'm like near as many of the enemies as I can. And I want to channel divinity. All enemies within 30 feet of me need to make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its turn... Oh, wait, sorry.
I think that only works against undead.
No, so it's a con saving throw, DC 13, or take 2d10 plus 4 radiant damage. That's for any hostile creature that's within 30 feet.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. So you run up, you sort of duck under the skeleton of the dragon, and sort of close the distance up near the two Kenku that were firing at you from the boxes. And what does it look like when you throw out this sort of radiant light?
I really want it to be like beams of moonlight that kind of come down from, the ceiling. You don't know where, because it's divine energy. And my visage kind of changes a bit. So my white eyes start glowing. Maybe my hair kind of lifts a bit, but very like holy looking.
Yeah. Excellent. And they've got to make con saving throws, is it?
Yeah, con saving DC 13.
DC 13, okay. So let's see, the naive Kenku, the one on the left, con saving throw. He nails it with a 15. The meticulous Kenku rolls a 14. So do they take half damage on a success?
I think... Oh, yes, half damage on success. So, let's see what damage they take. Oops, sorry, I think I rolled just now. I did. So the first one is 20 damage.
Ooh.
So 10 is half.
Half, so they take 10 damage each.
Cool.
All right, they're not looking great
Man.
after they're blasted from just this moonlight shines down. You notice, Loam, especially from your vantage point within, there is a second tier of this warehouse. Obviously, the stairs leading up lead to sort of a not quite like a balcony, but a thing that overlooks this main storage area.
Mezzanine?
And up above, mezzanine, yes, thank you. And then up above that, it seems there's a couple of skylights, and seemingly just the moon is in the right spot and beams its light down, burning these kenku, despite the fact that they sort of withstand most of it. They're quite singed.
Would this have triggered my hold action?
Sure. Yeah. If this is this battle has certainly commenced. Who are you aiming at?
Whatever Kenku was closest to me.
Yeah. So this is probably this one here, which is sort of in the middle. You've just seen them lit up by this brilliant white light, and you can't really make out who they've been firing at. I think in the gloom behind the boxes, you can see that they've been illuminated by this white light, perfect for you to now throw a firebolt at.
Fantastic. Well, I will roll to hit. Come on. That's an 18.
18 will hit.
Oh, fantastic. So he summons... Well, it's pretty small firebolt. It's only a cantrip. In one of his leather-gloved hands, casts it towards that Kenku, hoping to hit him in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 damage. That's right.
So, despite both of them being bathed in this white light, Loam, you're quite familiar with, you notice one of them, there's sort of a flicker of yellow and red, and they sort of catch fire for a moment before sort of batting it away. It's a little bit weird. You've probably never seen your radiant moonbeams do that before. But as the fire kind of fades away, you're able to see where it came from in that far corner. They're probably difficult to make out through the boxes. You definitely know that it came from that back wall. Caiden.
All right, so Caiden's gonna just waltz on inside. 10, 15, 15, 30, and it's gonna just what are they called again?
Well, you don't know what they're called, but they are sort of crow-like creatures, unless you've seen this kind of thing before.
Oh no, I have no idea. But
for those playing at home, they look kind of like this.
They're about to look dead. So that one that's taken a whole bunch of damage, the one that's looking the most. Actually, no, I'm gonna go for the one on the right.
Yeah, so they're both behind the crates, but you can just barely make them out. They will have cover from any ranged attacks.
All right. Well, we're still gonna give it a red hot go. Damage for some reason, so that's cool. That one. Why is it
I don't know.
only rolling damage? I'm just gonna again. I'm gonna roll it like this.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we
One.
go.
There's the other one. Well, never mind. It does nothing. Goes wide.
Yeah,
Just,
so it smashes into the
impacting.
crate because they've got such good cover. With a 15 to hit, you think if he was out in the open, he peeks back and sort of ducks back behind the crate, and your Eldritch Blast breaks off part of the crate and it explodes into flinders. What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
So my Eldritch Blast, or Caiden's Eldritch Blast, I should say, looks like some very, very dark, demonic energy that would also almost look like a shimmer of purple energy crackling through the air, but also very demonically, like turbulent. It's not very refined. It's just raw and evil and angry.
Cool. All right. All good. What is your... Yep. So you've sort of let out this blast of evil purplish light. The box is broken apart, and then you, at the last second, you kind of hear a sound behind you, as all of a sudden you sort of duck at the last second, but you're sort of grazed by this short sword. Standing behind you is another one of these creatures.
Nice.
Somehow gotten behind you. So for 19 hits, you can take 5 piercing damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 5 piercing damage.
All right. Top of the round. Philothrael.
You can call me Phil if it helps.
It might help.
Yeah, no worries. So do they have the Anku notice that I'm here now?
Yes, it's very obvious that you're there, sort of crouched behind these small crates. They're sort of providing maybe partial cover to you.
Ah.
Partial cover is good. I'm going to stay right where I am, and I'm going to cast another fireball at the same target.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Woohoo!
25 to hit.
Bah, 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 bah.
Means double damage. 2d10 on a cantrip.
Yes, it doubles the dice you roll.
Doubles the dice, yep, okay. Oh, I didn't do that great. We got 7 damage. 7 damage on a crit. Oh, with a possible 20.
So the fire bolt lances out, like lighting up the room. There's sort of this ripple of light across the room as the orange flame flies across and hits into the back of this Kenku. He's barely standing.
Yes.
And he lets out a cry in... where is he? Why does that keep closing? He lets out a cry in... You hear in a voice... like a thin, nasally voice, as he's hit. Wait, nasally. How do I do nasally? Follow the yellow signs in the sewers. Emma just looked at me like I'm an idiot. Thank you, babe. Cool. Captain,
Does
how much?
follow the yellow signs to the sewers?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
The one in the cloud of daggers takes a 9 slashing damage, and sort of jumps out of them, Captain, and starts running, and gets up to the top of the stairs where he's sort of up high and has a better shot. He's still going to shoot at you, Loam. From up top, he sort of has a better vantage point.
Does he take damage at the start of his turn for starting in the dagger?
He did, yeah.
Oh, he already did. Okay.
Yeah. An 8 to hit Loam, though, I believe won't, as Loam's able to sort of duck down behind the crate, easily dodging, just dancing around these arrows. What's this guy? The Kenku, who you've been hitting with these firebolts, drops his bow and runs around the crates that you're hiding behind, Phil, draws his short sword and tries to run you through with it. He crits you in return.
I cast shield then.
Yeah. And so he's going to do 10 piercing damage as he's sort of running through and hits you. This time, when he speaks, it's a deep voice with an orcish accent. Xanathar sends its regards.
Xanathar?
That's right.
Okay.
Iceleeson.
Alrighty. So, the one at the top of the stairs now,
Mm-hmm.
how far is he? Like within 60 feet?
Yeah, definitely within 60 feet. You have a bit of a hard time seeing him, but I think through the window, especially now that he's up high, you can definitely see most of him.
Cool. So I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Mm-hmm.
So
he has to make a wisdom saving throw, is that right?
I believe so. Target must make a wisdom saving throw on a failed
fails
save.
that, yep.
3d6 psychic damage.
All right, roll it for me.
I'm going to roll that.
Now, I believe this is something only you and the target hear because you're whispering it, especially because you're outside. But what is it that you're whispering?
I'm whispering at him. I'm gonna turn you into goddamn fried chicken. I swear to God, if you don't drop dead right now. Yeah. So that, and if I think if he doesn't,
How much
die
damage
off
was it,
that,
sorry?
I don't know how to roll a 3d6 on this one.
In D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
There's a dice button down there.
There should be a dice
right.
button next to the spell. And just so you're marking off your spells as you use them, right?
Yeah. Why did that roll as a 4d6?
Because you might have rolled it at second level.
Possibly.
What'd you get?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a level 2 spell slot. 19.
So say it to me again. What you say to this? You whisper to this creature.
Tell him I'm gonna turn you into fried chicken if you don't drop dead right now. I swear to God, you damn bird.
You hear Phil. You probably hear this. The others are probably too far away. But the Kenku kind of grabs its head. It's on top of the stairs, and it's just sort of clutching at its head. And you hear it in sort of a gravelly, low voice say to itself, "Drop dead, you dumb bird!" And it just keels over on the top of the stairs.
Oh, nice. So did it repeat what was being said to it?
Yeah.
That's so good. I love that.
Although I guess you don't know that, or Phil.
Oh yeah. He just said it.
He just said it. Yeah. The Kenku behind the crates, not knowing that Loam is a sword dancing machine, also drops its bow and runs out to face you in single combat. Loam, trying to attack you with its short sword. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
Hits.
For 8 piercing damage.
Ouch.
And you hear it say, in sort of it sort of yells out to the room in general, but potentially to you. Quick, get them out of here. As we go to Caiden's turn.
All right. So Caiden, noticing that something has stabbed him in the back, is going to use his action to summon his blade. Basically, he puts his hand up, and essentially what it looks like a long chain with a blade at the end of it. But as he gets it out, it solidifies into a giant scythe. And then he is going to Misty Step 30 feet. 5, 6. Over to... Yeah. Up. I've got to do that, and then that. He's going to Misty Step over to the other side of the room. And his turn there.
Cool. So is that so summoning the blade is your action, is it?
Yes, I can summon a blade. I can summon any weapon as an action.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So you disappear from next to this Kenku. It kind of looks around.
When he misty steps, it looks like he goes to walk away, and before his first step touches the ground, that similar energy to his Eldritch Blast, he just zaps out of sight and then just reappears on the other side of the room.
Cool. The Kenku kind of looks around wildly to try and see where you are, and then sees that the only other creature within its reach is Loam, and it's going to run up behind Loam and attack her.
Is it supposed to be after Captain?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I lost you on
Got
the
removed.
initiative because I changed your token. You were also 14, weren't you? Yeah. Cool. Sorry. Please go.
So I'm going to attack the Kenku that is in front of me with my Moon Dancer blade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoops, sorry, I just did the damage instead of the attack. So that is 16 to attack.
16 will hit. Yep.
And damage is 4. Ouch.
So the swords kind of clang against each other. This Kenku's a bit slow and ponderous compared to you. You're sort of slipping under its guard, and you're able to kind of get some slices in. They're not in super vital areas, but the Caiden, from your vantage point, certainly you can see Loam turning this fight into a dance. The sword itself sort of gleaming as if shedding moonlight. However, the other Kenku does run up, the one you Misty stepped away from, seeing that it's got an opening flanking Loam. Just runs in. You see Loam sort of get run through, taking a critical hit for 6 points of damage, and it kind of it laughs, or it also says, as it sort of strikes home Loam, in that gravelly voice, Xanathar sends its regards. Phil.
Okay, well, Phil is not looking good after being crit last round, and he really is in a pickle being cornered at the moment. So he's going to cast Mirror Image, hoping that's going to get him out of a bit of a jam. I think that just happens. Up to a minute, it's 3 duplicates, and he'll look up at the bird, crouched over in pain, bleeding from the wound he's just put in, and say, I don't think you'll have as much luck hitting me next time.
Mirror
And
Image.
that's
So
my
what
action.
is... can you read out to me Mirror Image?
So 3 illusory duplicates of yourself appear in space. Till the spell ends, the duplicates move with you and mimic your actions. Basically, if he tries to attack me, I get to roll a d20. If I roll a 6 or higher, he attacks a duplicate instead of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I've got 2 left, if I roll an 8 or higher, it's a duplicate. And if I've got 1 left, it's an 11 or higher.
Cool.
And my dupes have 10 plus my dex modifier AC.
Cool. All right. Well, that's your action. You still have your movement and a bonus action. Yeah.
My bonus action cantrip.
If you have a cantrip that is a bonus action, yes.
That's right. It has to be a bonus action. Yeah. I'm going to stay put because I don't want to take an attack of opportunity. Oh, but I've got my mirror images. He's just going to catch me if I try to move, I reckon. And I'd rather not risk losing one of my images from an attack of opportunity. So I'm just going to stay put and just hope that someone else can get to me and help me in time. So sort of 4 versions of Philothrael. Caiden, you can clearly see from here this silver-haired elf with... you are an elf, right? I am an elf. I'm a high elf. Yep.
Yeah. So that's sort of been taking hits from this crow creature at the back there, splits into 4, and they're sort of constantly moving around each other, passing through each other at times. The creature looks quite confused. It will... oh, that guy's dead. It will try and attack you, though. So now it rolls the attack first, I guess, and then...
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah. And if it were to hit... so a 15, would a 15 hit?
It would hit. and I need to roll more than a 6. I got a 17, so he hits one of my dupes and it disappears.
Yeah, so the sword lashes out but floats through air as the creature thinks it's hit you. It doesn't smile because it has a beak, and that's very hard to do with a beak.
Creepy.
It seems like it's landed a blow, but then it turns to smoke, and the creature looks stunned and confused. Captain. Aaron? I can't hear you. You might be muted.
Yep.
Sure was. Cool. Captain, being as smart as he is going to try and hip and shoulder his way through this window and get in.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to roll anything for that?
I would love an athletics check.
Athletics check. Cool. Great. Real good. 21.
Yeah, 21. Absolutely.
Nat 20.
So you just burst through, shattering the window, and then just with a thunk, your pirate boots land in the wooden floor of the warehouse. You can just make out. In fact, you kind of look across the way, and I'll even let you kind of land up on these boxes, so you've got a sort of a high-ish vantage point. Across the way, you can see a crow creature attacking what appears to be some sort of high elf. You can just make out, I think, Caiden across the room as well. And you don't know, you can maybe see a lot of movement and sound coming from some crates down to your southeast, which is probably Loam fighting.
Cool. So the one that's closer to Marcus, you said I could see that one?
Yeah, I think you could probably just make out the top of his head, through the over and under the stairs.
Okay. Gonna take the opportunity to cast another Dissonant Whispers here.
Mm-hmm. Now, your blades are still floating there in the air, but you can dismiss that as a free action if you like.
Okay, I might dismiss them as well, just so I can.
Just in case you don't walk through them.
Yeah, well, But yeah, so casting Dissonant Whispers. I don't know if that shows up in the log as a cast.
Cool. So he's going to make a Wisdom saving throw again?
Yeah.
All right. And what level are you casting it at?
Level 1.
Okay. So Phil, you have just seen this creature trying to stab at you, and it clipped one of your illusions, which faded away. Thanks, baby. And then you see it sort of look like it's confused and possibly angry, and then its sort of eyes go wide and it clutches its head and collapses to the floor.
Nice. Thanks, Captain. I'm going to just assume these guys are good guys. They're taking out people trying to stab me. So
every bird near you is just falling to the ground.
Yeah, screaming, clutching its head. Yeah.
Now you still have some movement left. You still have sort of maybe like 20 feet of movement if you'd like to use it.
20. Yeah, I'm going to move straight, so right across 20 feet, so sort of closer to everyone, I guess, just past the stairs.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you leap down off the crates and kind of dash forward. Now you can see. Actually, I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw. As you can see, just beyond all the sounds of fighting, you see a giant skeleton of a dragon.
Oh, great.
Oh.
That's a 1.
That's a 1. You have become frightened.
That's karma, that is.
Yeah. So the frightened condition, you cannot move closer to your to the thing that's causing you fear, and any attacks you do whilst it's in your line of sight, are at disadvantage.
Good thing my
Correct.
character's afraid of dragons.
Loam,
Double scared.
double
Yeah.
scared.
Alrighty, I want to cast Shield of Faith on myself. So that is +2 to my AC for 10 minutes. That is a bonus action. I would then like to try and make an acrobatics to get up over the crate that I'm in and away from these two Kenkus, which have hit me down to 7 hit points.
Yep. So if you use your entire action to disengage, so you can still use your bonus action to get shield, that's fine. If you were to use your action to disengage, I'll allow you also to make the acrobatics check to climb up over these things, and they won't get attacks of opportunity on you at all. If you still want to attack, then go, they're going to get attacks of opportunity. So
100% running away.
yeah.
So
So give me that acrobatics check.
That is a 20, yes, but not natural, adjusted.
The dirty 20. So describe to me how Loam sort of flips up and over onto the top of this massive crate.
Being 6 foot tall already, she just kind of plants a hand down and does this really sick like cartwheel over the top and does like a spring leap, double hand, arms up. Yeah. And then I kind
What's
of
her finishing?
continue.
Does she finish like up or is it like out? Like what's the T pose?
No, arms up like a gymnast. It's like, yep, I nailed that. She's hella confident. And then I want to move her just a little bit closer to Captain because at least she knows him.
Yeah,
He's safe.
100%. So you can kind of leap down over the other box, sort of dodging the corpse. And you've got boxes between you and the Kenku now.
Perfect.
And in fact, one of them that was fighting you that's taken a bit of damage is a bit annoyed. Obviously, it wasn't able to get any strikes at you as you backflipped over this thing. So it's going to run forward and run into Caiden, where it will attack with its short sword. It's 18.
All
hit.
right. 18 to hit. So I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. So is that a reaction?
Yep.
Cool. So it strikes you
Takes
for
20 damage.
7 damage.
Takes 7. Yep.
So as it strikes you, describe to me what this looks like in return.
Essentially the same description. That very raw, dark energy just lashes out directly back at it. From the point of where it hit me.
Mm-hmm.
The energy lashes back out, runs up its short sword, and like a small explosive blast impacts onto the Kenku.
Yeah. So as the Kenku kind of puts its blade to you, as you said, sort of the dark light, black light, lightning, and flame kind of flies up the short sword up into the Kenku and just incinerates it. And then all is left. The sword kind of clatters to the ground into a pile of ash.
You get a dex saving throw on that, by the way.
Yeah,
Dan.
it's a
does it?
DC 14 dex save.
Yeah,
Yep.
dex save for half. Yeah.
It would die regardless.
Okay, cool.
Half of 20, it is not holding up. But yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Same team, love it. Cool. Caiden.
And Caiden, now being visibly irate after being hit twice with a sword, is going to walk forward back towards that one that stabbed him in the back. As he walks past this corpse, he's going to kick the sword aside. So be like, get the fuck out of my way, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stop here. Then we are going to take a swing because this chained scythe has a reach of, where was it? 10 feet.
Cool.
He's going to take a swing at this bad boy. Where is it? There. That is a 22 to hit for 8.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit. So the Reaper Scythe comes down at range here. The Kenku kind of tries to parry the blow with the sword, but the scythe still digs in and scratches through his shoulder, leaving a massive gash on one arm.
In the swing of the scythe, it almost, to anyone that can see it, I think Loam can sort of see it, sort of, through the gap in the crates. You see the scythe come up and it looks like a solid scythe, but as it starts to arc, it almost becomes like a whip, or like a piece of rope, and it flows down and then like comes down around the back.
Yeah, nice. So it almost like moves a little bit strangely through the air.
Yeah, it's like a bladed chain essentially.
Yeah, cool.
But a scythe.
Awesome. Well, the Kenku you just hit lets out a cry in sort of a gruff humanoid voice. We're under attack, to arms! And rushes you with the sword, sort of a mad look in its beady eyes. 13 to hit.
Does not hit.
No. Velofreya.
Okay, there's only one Kenku left.
Yeah, it's sort of past the crates. You can kind of hear the fighting going on, but it's sort of 50 feet away, and it's very hard to sort of make out the figures through the gaps in the stacked up warehouse detritus.
Okay, well, I'll try and move out to the right and out in front of the crates to see if I can get vision around the crates of the Kenku.
Yeah, you can get there with 30 feet of movement for sure.
And then I'll try and hopefully finish this guy off with a firebolt.
Cool.
Roll the hit. Well, that's pretty good. 20, not nat, dirty 20.
Absolutely, yeah.
And damage, come on. Oh, I've been unlucky with damage today. Just a 1. Weak firebolt.
Caiden, as you whip this creature with your sort of blade chain, and it sort of comes at you in return, but you're able to kind of parry the blow with your ethereal scythe. You see a small mote of fire come in and kind of singe the side of this Kenku. It seems notably annoyed, but not necessarily hurt.
Like you flicked a match.
He's like, ow! Captain, you are afraid. There's a giant skeletal dragon in this warehouse. It hasn't seen you yet. It's looking towards the front door, but you can tell it knows you're here.
Despite being a big, brave pirate captain, he's going to turn tail and run straight back to the boxes that he jumped in on, and cower like the little bitch that he is.
Excellent. So you run away, sort of duck behind the thing. It's less scary now that you're not seeing it, but you can still feel its draconic presence, and a lot of the memories you have of dragons in the past and some of your tangles with them come flooding back to you. The crewmates perhaps you've lost and everything. Give me a wisdom saving throw to see if you can shake this fear off.
That's a 16.
Yeah, so eventually you kind of get your act together and sort of control your breathing, especially now that you've kind of broken line of sight. You start to realize after you kind of get those panicked breaths under control that, hang on, that dragon wasn't moving. Maybe it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Maybe you overreacted.
Maybe. You never know.
We'll call that your turn. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Loam. I love it.
Alrighty, I think everyone's within 30 feet of me, even Captain, after turning tail. I am going to pop a prayer of healing for all of my squad, but also this mysterious stranger who has been helping us out with Bibles. So I'm just going to That is 11 healing for everyone.
Ooh,
Excellent.
back up
So,
to max.
what is this? Does this light emanate from you, or does it come from above?
Yeah, I like kind of start like giving off this like warm moonlight glow, and then everyone else also kind of like copies that and has the same kind of effect.
Mm-hmm. So each of
And
you
you feel
start
strong.
glowing from within, and you feel sort of, yeah, your strength returning, your wounds kind of knitting together a little bit, as you all receive 11 hit points worth of health. And Loam, sort of being the guiding star in this case, is glowing a little bit brighter, and all of you kind of copy her star. Anything else, Loam?
Look,
Cool. Caiden.
I'm just going to, once again, this guy in front of me, going to flick my wrist, and the scythe sort of retracts, turns into a chain around my wrist,
Mhm.
And instead I'm just going to blast him. That is a 21 to hit for 14 damage.
Now, I will, you may have not realized this, but because you're making a ranged attack while he's in melee with you, it is with disadvantage. So I'll let you take back that action if you like. Just in case
I'll
you
just
didn't
do it
know.
again.
Cool.
That's a 15 to hit for 10 damage.
Still going to do it. So how do you want to do this?
I'm just going to obliterate him.
MVP Caiden.
So the chain, the chain whip that was sort of long and scythe-like, retracts, wraps around your arm in sort of its ethereal nature, and you hold that same hand up. The chain around your wrist glows and just starts bathing this thing in sort of that shadowy purple light, where again it sort of burns and sizzles and leaves nothing, naught but ash on the ground.
Dead.
Dead.
He did.
You look around and see that there's not only were the humans dead around you, thugs clad in leather armor, there is now also 4 dead crow creatures on the ground. Or, well, 2 dead crow creatures and 2 piles of ash, I believe.
I think Loam is just gonna run straight up to Caiden and kind of like grabbing at his robes, checking if he needs any more like healing and asking if he's alright.
Caiden's just gonna like wave his hand around, before he does that, because he still does have a sharp blade attached to his arm. He's going to like wave his wrist, and the blade just sort of vaporizes and disappears away. And then he's gonna sort of wave Loam away and be like, "I'm fine. It's okay. Check on the other ones. I did notice there was another one."
Yeah, you saw those firebolts too, right? It wasn't just in my mind. I'm gonna like kind of saunter over to this new guy.
I'll start making my way over as well.
Volothamp, can you
Yeah.
please describe your character in detail? What do they see as they come over here?
Well, he's quite tall and very slender, probably 6'5", being a high elf. Very fair skin. He's got quite long hair, probably waist length, but braided from the front to the back, and then it all falls down his back. He's wearing grey robes, quite well made, with embroidered dragon designs on the cuffs and the collar. The collar's a very high collar that wraps around his neck, and he has thick leather gloves glowing with sigils. And yes, that's about it, I guess. Bright green eyes, ageless elf-like features. And he turns to everyone and he says, well, unfamiliar faces, but friendly ones at that. It's nice to see someone here to give me a helping hand. Do you guys know what's going on here?
Caiden doesn't really say anything. He just looks at Loam, because Caiden's a little bit, being a half elf, he is a little bit uneasy of true-blooded elves at the minute.
On that same token, I think there's an interesting question to ask of in the other way as well. Like, Phil, how do you feel seeing a drow?
Phil, being a bookish type, really doesn't have many racist thoughts. To be honest, he's quite
too smart
open.
for racism.
Well, he more wants to. He finds there's more to learn from interacting with the other races than snubbing them.
Yeah.
And he's always in the quest for knowledge. So, he actually speaks Undercommon as well. He's studied some of the drow and their language.
Cool.
Well, that's cool. I think Loam kind of taking this in and seeing that there's no like disgust on his face or whatever, which is, I guess, quite unusual for her. She's legit gonna pounce right up to you and kind of grabbing your like fingers, looking at the arcane markings on your gloves, getting like a little bit too close, and just like, hey, what's this? Like, how can you do firebolts? Will you teach me? Just like millions of questions kind of spouting out of her mouth.
As she grabs at the gloves, they actually pull away from his sleeves, and she ends up just holding a glove in her hand. And she says, "Oh, you might want to be careful with those," as he uses Mage Hand to bring his glove back into his sleeve. And then, could I roll maybe a religion check to see if I recognize any of her religious iconography on her?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I rolled a 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So, Loam, what kind of... first tell us what kind of iconography Loam is wearing, and then we can kind of go from there.
Yeah, so you can definitely see like on her breastplate, and she does have pauldrons. She's not really wearing much other armor, but she's got lots of moon symbols, like all the different phases of the moon, as well as there's some swords on there. Everything is silver, like pointedly silver. And yeah, so you can see that she very clearly worships Trady, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but the Dragonis of the moon.
Yeah, so you, being a learned individual, Phil, the first thing you probably notice when you look her up and down is that there's no spider iconography at all. There's no webs, there's no many-legged creatures, no brooches of spiders or anything like that. And yeah, you see the moon iconography, the sort of silver, the light, the flowing kind of robes underneath sort of sparse armor. And you have probably heard about Elestre. She was the daughter of Lolth and Corellon, the elven god. So Corellon, the elven god, and Lolth, the spider goddess of the drow. She was sort of the daughter, the drow daughter, who is well known as a sort of a beacon of light in the darkness, someone who helps the weak, is all about beauty and grace, and notably is one of the nicer gods in the drow pantheon. Doesn't have much in the way of worshippers, as far as we know, in the Underdark.
Well, Phil says, "I don't know if I could teach you how to cast Firebolt. It seems like your magic comes from your goddess." And then in Undercommon, he'll say something along the lines of, "May you dance in the moonlight of her," or something.
Dancing in the moonlight,
just giving her a nod to
Sorry.
And this voice comes down singing. No, she's very shocked and just kind of very politely responds in Undercommon as well. "Well met, stranger."
He gives a nod.
Very happy.
Well, yes. What are you guys doing here?
We're looking for two people. Floon, Dragmar, and Raynor? Do you know them?
I do, don't I, Dan?
Yes, you were partying with these guys. You and Raynor Neverember headed out for a night on the town, met up with Floon at a drinking and cards establishment. Floon as a bit of a little bit of a rapscallion who likes to get around. You've probably seen him around campus a bit. He's never, always late for class, that kind of stuff. If he attends at all. Raynar Neverember, as a more responsible kind of adult. He's the son of the former the masked lord, the unmasked lord of Waterdeep. His father was kind of driven out of the city. You were out drinking with these two when on your way home, the three of you were kind of dragged into an alleyway, bags over your head, and then brought here.
And I haven't seen any sign of them after being dragged off?
When you saw them, I think briefly when the big fight took place, and you kind of got to cover and got into the closet, but after that you didn't see them. You do recognize, though, some of the bodies here are some of the people that jumped you.
Mm-hmm. And do I know how that fight started and who was involved?
Some of these creatures. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation +3. That's right. I got an 8.
An 8.
Yep.
I think in the commotion you don't
Just
remember.
got out of there.
Yeah, you don't remember much, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, yes, actually, I do know these two. I was out drinking with them last night. But on our way home, we were accosted by these individuals. I see some of the dead people here around us. They were the ones who actually attacked us. We had sacks thrown over our heads, and we were dragged off here. I managed to escape and hide under the stairs during the commotion. Someone came and a fight started, but I don't know where they are now. They were with me though when the fight started, Dan.
Yes.
Or
yeah. You had heard some interrogation taking place. It sounded like they weren't specifically questioning you, but it sounded like they were questioning. They were asking a lot about where's the gold, where's the stone.
Okay. Well, I relay this to everyone else, and I ask what they're doing looking for them. It seems like a few people are after our heads at the moment.
I can't 100% remember, but I know that we were asked to go and look for them while we were
at this point. Caiden. Go.
The captain, who has been hiding like the heroic champion that he is, whilst these conversations been happening, has walked up the stairs a little bit to start ruffling through the pockets of the dead bird on the stairs, casting an ear out to the conversation that's going on. He's going to bark down at them that we're here to make some money.
Caiden will step forward at that, shaking his head, and go, well met, elf.
Yes, well met.
We were requested to look for these people by Volo.
Okay, do I know Volo, Dan?
You know him in passing, I think. You might have read some of his books for sure.
Yeah.
I think you, as Marcus, you can let me know if you know him. He's definitely friends with Floon. So it wouldn't be a huge stretch that you know him or have met him in passing for sure.
Okay.
Yes,
that's a familiar name. Yeah, it's good. It's good to know that someone on my side has sent you. But I think we still need to track down Floon's brain. Sorry?
So he's obviously not one of the people trying to hunt your friends down.
Who isn't Caiden?
We know that.
I missed that again, Kate. Sorry.
So he's obviously not Volo is obviously not one of the people who is trying to kill your friends or question them for gold.
Yeah, he's a friend of Floon's. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Should we
Cool.
return and talk to him, or?
Well, I think there might be more to find out here. My friends were in this building. I did take cover and they've gone missing since then, but perhaps we should look around for some more clues as to where they went.
Can I check all the bodies? I just want to make sure that none of them are any of like his friends or the people that we're looking for.
Absolutely. So yeah, give me a perception check. As you
Perception. I also wanted to look for like tattoos and markings because we saw a few deaths before of people with tattoos,
Absolutely.
things like that. So I got it was almost an 18. It's a 10.
Oh. So you turn over the bodies, and there are a number of humans dressed up. Now, because you mentioned you're looking for, you specifically mentioned you're looking for tattoos. Whilst none of these people kind of look familiar to you, Phil, as like Loam is kind of turning them over and going, "Hey, what about this one? What about this one? Is this one?" As you're sort of pulling up their sleeves, Loam, and like checking them, you see that 5 of the humans they're sort of wearing all black. Each of them have a black tattoo of a winged snake, either on their neck or forearm.
Oh, we were looking for people with snakes, right?
And you notice that one of the other humans who's not wearing black, there's sort of 7 humans that aren't wearing black. They're sort of wearing a motley of different kind of like brown leather and sort of like loose chain and stuff. One of them has a shaved head, and on his hand, it looks like he's got a tattoo of a circle with 10 spokes radiating out from its circumference.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna call Phil over and ask him if he has seen these tattoos before.
Can I roll religion or history on that?
Yeah. Give me a
Or even
history check.
Arcana?
Give me a history check.
That's not too bad. An 18.
18, yeah. You definitely recognize, I think, the black winged snake. That's an old symbol. And it's the symbol of the Black Network, the Zentarum.
Okay. The Black Network, is that thieves?
Worse than thieves. So
Okay.
these, you know that there's a group of orders, the Gauntlet, the Harpers, things like that. One of the darker ones is known as the Black Network, and they're usually not just thieves, they're more assassins. They have sort of machinations. They try and take over places, extortion, things like that. They don't just peddle in thievery, and their goals usually aren't about getting rich. It's about power.
Okay. Well, I say that to Loam. I do recognize this black winged snake tattoo. It's a symbol of the Black Network. It would suggest that these individuals are actually quite evil indeed. What they wanted with me and my friends, we should probably get to the bottom of that, honestly. They were questioning us about, was it rocks and minerals? Gold? Was that what you said?
Specifically, you remember them asking where the stone is.
Where the stone is.
Where is the stone?
So I relay that to the group as well. I feel like that's going to be important information at some point. But these are big, heavy hitters. This isn't just your average petty thief. So we should be careful with what's going on here.
Yeah. By contrast, the ones all in black with these kind of tattoos do look like a professional, are dressed like a professional outfit, and there was 5 of them, but it looks like they were overrun by many more. But even so, we're able to take out 7 of these other people, right?
I'm interested in these Kenku because they seem like they don't fit in with what's going on here. So I'd like to search their bodies.
Cool. Well,
they mentioned something about Xanathar as well.
Yeah.
So if anything in connection to that.
Give me another history check. Let's see if you recognize that name.
16.
Yeah, you recognize that name as it's not spoken about a lot, but Xanathar is kind of the name of a group in the city that is more like a thieves guild.
Okay. And they send their regards. Okay.
We have already come across some deaths in the city where the dead had tattoos on them. There were some with circles with spokes and some with like eyes tattooed on them. I think if I'm interpreting my notes correctly. So is this like do you think like a gang fight? Everybody's out looking for this stone?
That's what it looks like. That's what it seems like, yeah. I think that's a good guess.
We haven't looked upstairs. Should we try and stealthily open the door and have a look?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I have disadvantage on stealth because I'm wearing medium armor. I'm just metagaming here to someone else stealthy.
I'm not very quiet. I mean, I'm not practiced in these arts. But
How about you, Captain? You're kind of slimy. Loam says quite cheaply.
Barthrow couldn't help but let out a guffaw.
To that, he's just gonna spit over his shoulder and tell her to shut your damn mouth, you bilge sucking scurvy dog.
She's
Someone's
just like
a bit
giggling
touchy.
uncontrollably.
And he's just gonna continue checking this guy's pockets.
Caiden's just gonna walk up the stairs.
Cool.
Cool.
Not even
I will-
stealthily, he's just gonna go for it.
Cool. If you just move up the stairs, I want to see. I can't remember if I set something up to just move you automatically, or if I'll have to manually move you. No, I'll have to manually move you. That's fine. I've just
I'm
moved you
just
over.
gonna like call out to Caiden, maybe to like check for some traps or something.
Nah.
Nah.
I like
That's cool.
the grid's
Oh,
not
that is cool.
grid's off, but that's fine.
Yeah. The map's not perfect.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect.
Caiden is.
The captain thinks it's perfect.
Well, I'm gonna just walk around up here and head over this side and just start rummaging around this area, see if I find anything of note.
Well, I'll wrap up first what so Captain, you've gone up to the two Kenku and kind of started ruffling through their stuff, is that right?
Yeah.
Can you roll a d10 for me?
Yes. Maybe.
I think if you're in D&D Beyond, down the bottom left, there's like a dice roller, a d20 you can click to just do regular dice.
D10. It's a 3.
Okay. That's not bad. You find 13 silver.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's exactly what the captain would want. Money.
Yeah.
Does Loam see this?
Yeah, I would assume so, because he's doing it like on the stairs. He's like out in the open.
Yeah, it's stealthy about it.
Yeah. They obviously have short swords as well. You also notice that they drop their bows, somewhere in the room. Apart from that, they're just wearing sort of your basic kind of leather, leather clothes, leather hoods.
Are their masks plague masks?
They
are
look like,
birds.
They looked like this.
Hoping one had a plague mask.
So they didn't necessarily have
Caiden.
masks. They're sort of just wearing hoods and whatnot.
Caiden's going to add a plague mask to his shopping list. Next time
That
is a
was
fantasy
like,
Bunnings.
Everyone in
Put
the
it
room.
right next to the ship.
So you head upstairs, Caiden, and this area up here is like sort of another storage area. You can see, obviously, down into the warehouse proper. Up here, you get a good view of sort of the top of the dragon. It's a little bit more obvious from up here that it is, while it may be real bone, it's certainly sort of held in place to be structurally sound.
Before I start rummaging through,
Yeah.
Do I, once I'm still at the top of the stairs, do I perceive anyone to be hiding up here?
Give me a perception check.
Pop that one in there. That is a 19.
You listen around and kind of look around. You don't hear or see anything out of, that's moving or out of the ordinary. You can hear a sort of thumping noise to sort of your northeast. It sort of sounds like something muffled coming from the other side of the wall.
Investigate that instead of rummaging.
Yeah, and the other thing you notice in some of these crates, you see written on it. Now, what languages does Caiden speak?
Caiden speaks Common, Deep Speech, Elvish, and Infernal.
Yes. Written in Infernal on some of these boxes. It says, property of the Garfield family.
He'll make a mental note of that, and by mental note I mean actual note.
Oh, I hate Mondays.
Loam's just gonna call out, like, are you all good up there, Caiden?
Caiden's gonna lean over the banister and just like put a finger over his mouth like, shh. Since I'm assuming Loam can see me, since I'm up on a balcony mezzanine level.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
fall off the stairs just so I'm in range of him if stuff goes down.
Yep.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna make my way over to this northeast corner of the building, to where the banging was coming from.
Yeah. So you see the upper floor contains sort of a stone kind of wall on the north side here. You can also see that the above the door itself is a what looks to be like a steel alarm bell with wires that run down and through the floor.
All right. Well, before I do anything, Caiden's going to summon his chain again. And then can I investigate the wires?
Sure.
See if I can remove that, or if it's a trap, or if it's going to do anything.
Absolutely.
Pop that one in there. That's a 2. That doesn't matter.
It's wires,
Caiden's just going. Yeah, Caiden's just going to cut the wires.
Okay. Sure. You cut the wires?
Yep. Does anything happen?
Nope.
Cool. Well, Caiden's gonna tap on the door, and then he's going to wait 3 seconds, and then he's gonna kick the door open.
Okay.
Just in case they walk up to the door like, fuck you.
You kick the door open, and on the other side appears to be sort of a room with a couple of small chairs, bare sort of shelves, and another door, or another 2 doors. One of them actually open, leading to the west, and one of them closed, seemingly, leading north.
Caiden's gonna take a step back, and I'm assuming, Caiden's gonna say, Elf, I don't believe I got your name.
You can call me Phil.
Phil?
What have you found over there?
It looks to be like some sort of waiting room. There are couches and things in here. And a mat.
Loam's definitely to these two by now because they're taking too long.
Right, so you've headed up there. Captain, what are you doing?
After having successfully looted this dead man's pockets, he's going to go down. Where is Phil now?
They're upstairs.
Upstairs. All right. He's going to go upstairs and look at Phil, who I assume is still looking a little bit bloody from the battle.
Oh, yeah. Well, my clothes are bloody, but I actually was healed.
Okay.
By Loam. I'm actually full health.
Right.
But I am. My clothes are looking bloody.
Yeah. Okay. And captain's just gonna tip his head a little bit and say to him, "Well, Sharkbait, I am Captain Islason Aira, at your service."
Captain Isolation.
Yeah, to it. And assuming Phil speaks Elvish, he would know that Captain Islason Aira means murder song.
Murder song.
That's awesome.
Or boding.
Caiden is going to. Caiden's going to jokingly put in. He calls himself a captain, but he has no ship. I've never seen this ship. I've heard a lot about a ship, but when pressed harder, he can never back it up. So to me, I'm just calling him Elf.
Shut your mouth, you scurvy dog, or I'll cleave you down to your brisket.
Righto, Elf, righto. And Caiden's just going to, now that everyone's sort of joined him up here, is everyone in the room or outside of the room?
I'll come into the room with you.
I'd say that's just kind of watching everyone.
Caiden's just going to open the next door. Like, because that's what he does. He's curious. He's like, bro, what the fuck?
So you open the door, and what you see is a small balcony just outside this door up top. It's sort of like a fire escape style balcony. Like a metal railing, and a small kind of area where someone could stand up here and kind of look out, maybe have a smoke while they look down into the alleyway below.
How is the weather outside? Is it daytime, nighttime? Is it sunny, moody, rainy?
From memory, I think it was sort of nighttime. I think there's a moon out, not necessarily a full one, but there's a little bit of cloud cover for sure.
Do I see anyone outside? I do have dark vision.
Oh, give me a perception check. Which you haven't been. Oh no, you did do a pretty good one before.
That is a 15 for perception.
You don't see anyone specifically loitering around in the alleyway. You noticed sort of there's the basic kind of detritus that you find in an alleyway. There's, sacks of trash and so on. One thing does stand out to you, though. There is a manhole cover down there that you would assume leads down into the sewers. And it is not fully closed.
Caiden's going to say, "Hey, Elf.
Yes,
I seem
me?
to." No, the other one. Phil. I
I assume Phil's like, "Oh, me."
Elf.
I assume that's all
believe
the
I have
character.
found your ship. There is a whole heap of garbage down there. Also, an entry to the sewers. And then I'm going to walk over into the other room, and I'm just going to start rummaging around these rooms in here. See if there's anything of note before suggesting we press on.
Absolutely. So you kind of start looking around. You actually hear what sounds like that same thump you heard, but coming from the next room. Do you sort of cease your rummaging? Or do you keep opening toolboxes?
I cease rummaging and I just open the door.
Sure, hit it.
All right, we're going to hit it.
It's never good when Caiden opens doors.
No, it's okay, because Caiden has a weapon out this time.
Inside, you see another Kenku and a gentleman with sort of red hair who looks quite beaten up. The Kenku, when upon the door opening up, sort of holds the sword and is kind of like half going like the sword trying to fend you off, Caiden, like half putting it to this person's throat, and you hear it say in a scratchy voice, looking back and forth between you two, and moving the sword back and forth. No time to loot the place. Just get him to the boss.
Noted.
And it kind of looks panicky between you and this thing. We're gonna roll.
So wait, is he telling? All right, cool. Is he telling me to take someone to the boss, or?
I told you what he
Damn
said.
it! I got a fucking 1.
14 for me.
14.
Oh,
We roll
solid,
initiative. Oh.
solid 12.
Oh, I got a 4.
I've been killing it on the initiative, so.
I never do. You're going to adapt to the Tatts curse. You will
Alright.
never roll above double digits. You'll never roll double digits initiative after a little while of playing.
All right, Phil,
Ever.
you've kind of heard a bit of a commotion in the rooms beyond. Obviously, Caiden kind of went on his own, as far as I know. What do you do?
I'm going to get in visual range of the Kenku
Mhm.
and cast Charm Person.
Oh. So you
That's a
rush into the room beyond, which gives you kind of line of sight through the doors. See that there is Caiden, is Kenku, and then your friend Reyna.
Yes, Reyna. I call that out. I call out his name.
And he looks pretty beat up. He doesn't look great.
I turn to Loam at that and say, Loam, I found out my friend Reyna. He could use with some healing. I know you're good at that.
And then you cast Charm Person on this. This
Yeah. And it's Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13.
Captain's just gonna dust his shoulders and be like, "What am I, chopped liver?"
Describe to me what your Charm Person looks like.
What it looks like? Oh. He probably...
Because it's verbal and semantic, so I assume there's finger movements and some sort of word or words.
Yeah, let me read it for a second so I know exactly what I'm doing, because I think I can just give him a command, right? Charms to do anything else. Charm creature regards you as friendly. Yeah, okay. That's cool. He regards me as friendly. So I'm going to, like, he draws his hand up and a pink smoke sort of starts to cloud in his hand, and he blows it towards him like he's blowing a kiss, and it floats across the room and sort of hits the face of the Enku, and he suddenly he's quite cheerful and friendly towards us.
Yeah, so his demeanor kind of changes. You notice his sword kind of relaxes a little bit from attacking, or at least he's still holding the sword. Actually, he's still holding the sword against Caiden and Neverember, but he sees you and kind of like waves, and yells out to you in a thin, nasally voice. Tie up the pretty boy in the back room. And then in a completely different voice says, no time to loot the place. Just get him to the boss.
Oh, I know what's going on.
Captain.
Captain, feeling very offended that he wasn't asked to do the healing, is going to pout, and turn, and walk back to the stairs.
What are you supposed to
Could I have called out and let everyone know that, hey, this guy's our friend?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking certainly a free action. What do you say?
Oh, me?
Yeah. And do you talk to are you talking to the Kenku or are you talking to your friends?
Yeah, I'd like to tell the Kenku that, hey, you don't need to be, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't need to be harmful to any of these guys. Everyone here is our friends, okay? You can put your weapon down.
So I think he's charmed. What does charmed mean? Charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities, and has advantage. You have advantage on ability checks to interact socially. So, give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage.
But he does regard you as a friendly acquaintance, regardless. It's just
23.
Woof. Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying like, put your weapon down. These are our friends. He looks kind of confused, and then like shrugs and kind of sheaths his sword, and sort of grabs Neverember, kind of roughly, and sort of shoves him towards you, Caiden. And he says in that same scratchy voice, in fact, the exact same, just clipped version of what he said before, but just get him to the boss. And then the voice kind of changes, and he says, Xanathar sends his regards.
I will grab our friend and just guide him back to Phil.
Reno, it's good to see you.
And then, so he's no longer hostile towards me, is he? This Kenku.
Correct. Yeah, he's Phil said, yeah, we're all friends here, kind of thing.
Okay, so I'm going to then make my way back around, like, the other side of the room. And I'm going to say to Phil, do I spare him?
Well, it's up to you what you'd like to do with him now. I just wanted to get Rainer out of that room. He was holding a sword to his throat, but now that Rainer's safe, please feel free to finish him off. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's any good to us. I mean, can we question a Kenku? He seems to just be repeating what other people say.
I cast Eldritch Blast. It's a 14 to hit.
So mid-conversation, as you're like, oh yeah, I guess you could finish him off, and then
As soon as I heard,
Phil's
I
still
guess,
talking.
I'm just like,
Caiden just turns around and blasts this Kenku with Eldritch energy, and again sort of bursts into flames and crumbles to the floor.
and then I turn back to, what was our friend's name again? Raynar? I turn back to Raynar. I put my arm around him and just go on, bud. You're safe now. And then I push him through the door into the next room.
Yeah, he looks a little bit shocked at that kind of display, and is like looking from you to Phil, and like, Phil, what's going on?
Hey, these people are good people. They saved me downstairs. They were sent here by Volo, so he's looking out for us. He knows we went missing.
Oh, and what happened to Floon?
That we do not know yet. We're still looking for him, but it's nice to see you, Rainer.
It is good to see you again too. And he's kind of like massaging his cheek, where he's obviously been taking a bit of a beating, and he says, we should perhaps get out of here before more turn up. I don't know. Do you know where they've taken Floon? Is he dead?
Well, I pray that he isn't. I do recall one of the Kenku mentioned something about following the yellow signs to the sewers, though, and Caiden did see a sewer grate outside. Is there any? Could I make a perception check to see if I see any of those sort of yellow signs around?
Sure.
Perception. That is a 21.
21's pretty good.
Elf eyes.
Yeah, you see, like, amongst the graffiti on the wall, there is a yellow circle with, like, it's sort of built into the graffiti, so it's like, surrounded by a bunch of other stuff. But you definitely notice that it looks like a sort of a yellow circle with an arrow pointing down on the wall, kind of parallel to the manhole cover.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's one lead. They may have taken him to the sewers. Loam, is Islesen? Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, Islesen.
Islesen. Are you there, or have you stormed off?
I've stormed off. I'm back upstairs.
Loam, would you be able to help Rainer out with some healing? He seems like he's a little banged up.
I'm gonna do a medicine check
Sure.
to see how up he is.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
Yeah, he's pretty beat up. He's not like dying. He's not bleeding out or anything. Mostly it's he's taken a couple of hits, and he's probably gonna have some pretty bad swelling. But you don't necessarily think he's in danger of dying by any stretch.
I just relate this to Phil and just say, honestly, Phil, I think I am worse off than him, and he will be fine. We get him back to the tavern, back to his home, and he gets a good night.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Caiden, do you
trust-
have any more doors to kick in before we leave here?
Oh, I believe there may be one more. Is Yes, there is. I'm gonna make my way over. I'm gonna boot this door open as well.
Well, the
Oh,
door's
that door's
already
already
open, so
open.
you kick
I'm
it.
just gonna
and it slams,
slam it
like,
shut.
it swings across, like it bounces off the wall and slams shut in front of you.
Yeah. And then I walk back over with a grin on my face.
In doing so, you a small folded piece of parchment kind of floats down off one of the shelves.
I will grab that piece of parchment and inspect it.
It's you've seen something like this before. This is a paper bird. It's a sort of piece of paper. It's just a magic piece of paper. If you write a message on it and then speak a creature's name, the parchment magically folds itself into a tiny paper bird and flies to the recipient. The recipient has to be on the same plane of existence as you, otherwise the bird turns into ash and explodes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll add that to my inventory.
That's pretty cool.
That's. Oh, now.
If you look up paper
use it or
bird,
not?
you should be able to find it.
Not in D&D Beyond, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I can add it in here, and I'll just make a note of it for my other character sheet.
So I'm assuming that Phil mentioned all the sewer and the last words that he heard downstairs, and Loam is just going to suggest that maybe we've found everything we can here. We should take your friend somewhere safe and check that out.
Is that an item?
It is an item, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I agree. Loam. Sounds like a good idea. I would like to join you on your journey into the sewers, though. I'm still worried about my friend Flume.
Raynar says, I worry. There's no reason for them to take Floon. I love the guy, but he's a nobody. I fear that perhaps they were trying to take me, and you've been caught up in all this, Phil. They're trying to perhaps get some kind of ransom or something.
We should ask him, like, Loam just kind of goes to Phil, we should ask him about the stone. Like, do you know anything about the stone, Raynar? Do you know what you're looking for?
He looks to you, Phil, and says, do you trust these people?
As much as you can trust someone that you've met an hour ago.
Loam makes like puppy dog.
They
Yeah.
have been quite helpful, though, and they did save both of our lives, potentially, so...
He says, the Zentarum think that my father embezzled a large amount of gold when he was the open lord of Waterdeep, and that he hid the dragon somewhere in this city. They think they can find it by using something called the Stone of Galar or Galore or something. So someone else had the stone, it's gone missing, or it's been stolen. The Zents think that I might know something about it, but my father and I haven't spoken in years. So I'm concerned that they thought that Floon was me, and they've taken him to go get information. I couldn't give it to them anyway. He certainly can't.
Okay, this is troubling indeed.
Mm.
So to reiterate, there's a big, massive hidden wealth somewhere, and this stone can guide you to it?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And the Zint's interested in this.
Well, the story goes that my father raised a lot of money from the local lords and the surrounding cities. Do you remember back when there was that dragon cult that was trying to resurrect Tiamat, and they were going around raiding all the cities?
Yes, I do recall that. Yes,
I think they called it the saga, the Horde of the Dragon Queen.
I did. Yes, I've read quite a few books of that.
Yeah. Well, my father was the Open Lord of Waterdeep at the time, and so he said that we should all chip in, all the cities should chip in, and he would just give that amount of wealth to the dragon cult so that they'd leave the cities alone. Because they needed a huge treasure hoard to summon Tiamat or something. But some adventurers stopped the cults and put them down before they made it this far. And my father kept the gold, but no one knows where he kept it or where he put it. And he was banished to Neverwinter, I think. And now is sort of on the council there, and it's rumored that he kept the money is still in this city somewhere, in a vault or in a safe place, and many treasure hunters go around looking for it and so on, but he's banished from the city, so he can't come collect it himself. So the rumors say.
Are you on speaking terms with your father?
No, absolutely not. We haven't spoken in years. Yeah. I guess you'd probably know that, actually.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, he says, as you know, like, I haven't spoken to him in years. We grew apart before this even occurred. I'm sort of tired of living in his shadow, and I wanted to make. I didn't want to be the Neverember he wanted me to be, and so we'd already grown apart.
Feels like a bit of a dick anyway, Raina.
Yep.
Okay, shall we head back to the inn? Speak to Volo again, perhaps, or?
We should at least take Raina somewhere safe.
Yeah.
I would like to rest up, I guess.
Do believe the longer we wait, the harder it will be to find your other friend.
Yeah, I'm good to keep going. Myself.
All right.
We do need to get Raina somewhere safe first, yeah. Or Raina, do you think we can get you to a well-known street corner and you can find your way home?
Potentially. And as you're having this conversation, Captain, what are you doing?
The captain is staring down. Would he still be able to see the giant dragon skeleton from the top of the stairs here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's just going to be staring down at that, muttering to himself, it's always bloody dragons. Why is it always the bloody dragons?
And I guess from there, you're not really hearing the conversation, are you?
No, I assume not, because they're sort of behind walls and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I find that hilarious that you're the most money focused and missed the conversation about gold.
I'm gonna jump into this.
Sure.
Caiden is then going to stick his head out and come around the corner and yell, "Elf! You'll want to hear this."
If it ain't about money, I don't give a damn.
Well, luck would have it.
I'll be right there.
There is a major
never
hoard
moved.
of gold.
Never quicker in his life. He just sprints back to the conversation.
Caiden's just gonna point out the balcony door. Say, we're looking for a treasure hoard or a stone of some kind to find the treasure hoard. I don't know, but what do you think we do? Do we take Raina back to safety and potentially get a reward, or do we push on and potentially get a reward either way?
As you're having this conversation, you hear boots on the ground downstairs, on the sort of at the entrance of this place.
I'm gonna look over the balcony at them.
Yeah, you see a number of humanoid creatures in armor, and by humanoid creatures I mean, like, humans,
Nice.
in matching armor, coming in through the door. You instantly recognize these as the City Watch.
As soon as I see them, almost like a reactionary thing, my dark cloak is going to shimmer and change and look like a City Watch uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to walk over to the top of the stairs and say, up here, up here.
Yeah, they kind of fan into the room. They've got their weapons out. There are... Where is it? A dozen of these watchmen kind of fan in, looking around, looking at the bodies. They look at you and see you up there. A couple of them look a little bit confused. And then a familiar captain walks into the room.
I'm going to just sort of...
And he looks up at you and goes, "You, I should have known."
Welcome, welcome, friends.
And he
what brings you?
He just sort of like puts his hand over his face and he's just like, "Why again? Didn't I tell you not to cause trouble in my city?"
Not causing trouble, solving it. His Caiden's mannerisms have changed from being very sort of more reserved and quiet to a bit more showy. In this regard.
He says, "Now, why is it that when I see you, there are always dead bodies around?"
Hey, they were dead before I got here, except for maybe that one, and that one. And there was one back there, but his body's been vapor. There's nothing left. That's but they weren't people per se. They were creatures that attacked us. So we returned in kind.
Kenku are people too.
He says, "So
I mean, as in like humanoid.
So why don't you come down here and start from the start, and you can tell me what happened."
You come to me. You come up here. It's easier to explain up here. We have the answer up here.
I'm gonna walk downstairs with Rainer in hand.
Yeah. So you and Raina kind of come to the edge of the stairs as well, and Captain Staggett certainly recognizes Raina. I'm not sure if he might recognize you, Phil, although you're probably not acquainted.
Yep.
And he says, the guards were like sort of starting to come up the stairs. Like two of the guards were starting to come up the stairs to kind of make way for the captain. And Staggett says, "Oh, your lordship, are you okay here?" And sort of hand on the sword kind of thing. He's like, "Are these men hurt you? Are you in need of assistance?" And Raynar says, "Oh, no, Captain. Thank you. You've come just in time. These gentlemen have just saved my life. The carnage around you was here before they arrived, but I believe this was some sort of territorial thing, and I was caught up in it. And these my friends here. What's your name?"
I'm Caiden.
Caiden and Phil and their compatriots here have had rescued me from the clutches of these villains. And Captain Staggett, who's now made his way to the top of the stairs. Where is he?
As the captain comes up, since the captain is here, I'm going. My cloak is then going to change again, just into a light linen white shirt.
Yeah.
Unbuttoned about a third of the way down the front, and some black leather pants.
Nice.
Standing there.
Do you have a cloak of disguise self?
No, I have a cloak of many fashions, but we've flavored it to be a coat of many fashions.
That's pretty dope.
So basically, my upper body clothing I can change.
Cool. I was just interested. Sorry to interrupt, Dan.
That's right. Staggett says, "Well, you're lucky that we were actually. This place was had been under watch for some time, and we got a report of suspicious activity.
Nothing suspicious here, Captain. We have dealt with it.
Yes, nothing suspicious.
And one of the sort of watchmen come up and run up and kind of whisper in his ear, and he goes, "Yes, okay." He says, "Well, you're all lucky to be alive. It appears that these are all gang members, and it seems to have been some kind of gang warfare encounter. Violent encounters of this type have been becoming ever more frequent in this city, and unfortunately, I see you at more and more of them. Now, did you give your name to him last time, Kate?
I believe I just said Caiden. I didn't give him a title. I didn't tell him much else.
Yeah. So, but he certainly remembers you, I think, from that interaction. He said, Caiden, like Cher, or Beyonce.
I'm going to say, that is my lord to you. This is part of the interesting part of things.
He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, your lordship, and what house do you belong to?"
Now I got to find my last name. God damn it. I had it noted.
You have no background?
The captain's just got to interject before Caiden gets an opportunity and just say, "A house of jackasses."
I'm going to say, just please ignore my jester.
I like your guys' relationship.
I don't remember my last name. I don't have it written down, so I will be Caiden.
You tell him. You'd know it. You just tell him, and we'll
I'll come up with it. Yeah,
sure. So he sort of actually give me a persuasion check.
Actually, we'll go with never ever. Caiden never ever.
Never ever, and Raynar never ember.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to go with that because that's way too close. Never mind.
Distant cousins.
Except I'm elf. Anyway. Yeah, so what do I have to give him?
Give me a persuasion check. So I assume this is a legitimate, you do have a noble...
This is legitimate. To me, it's,
Yeah, so it's not a deception check, but it's a persuasion check for the way you deliver it.
Yeah, okay. That is a 13.
That's pretty good. Where's his... Oh. Cool. Is he swayed by it? He kind of eyes you and is like, okay, righto. He doesn't seem like, he sort of, he stands up a little bit straighter and sort of seems to be a little bit more polite to you, but not fawningly so, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not, "Oh my god, my lordship," he's just sort of like, okay. And he sort of has a little bit more respect for you now. Just in case that's going to be a problem for him later, possibly paperwork.
Alright, I've got my last name now.
Cool. What is it?
Shade Whisper.
Nice. He says, "Well, my lords, I'm willing to overlook any crimes that have taken place on your part this evening, such as murder, the capital crime, if it was in service of self-defense."
Oh, it absolutely was.
Now, and he hands you a folded sheet of parchment. He says, "But I would encourage you to read this and take it to heart. It's best not to meddle in criminal matters. Leave this dirty business to the City Watch. Not all other officers are as nice as me."
I was requested to assist by Volo. I don't know who he is working on behalf of, but that is who has requested our aid.
He says, that may be, and I think I am familiar with Volothamp, Mr. Geddarm. He's... I do believe that he is not a criminal type, and I would be very careful about doing crimes in his name, because he does not have sway over the City Watch here. But if I could ask you, just keep the blood off the streets, okay?
All indoors, then? Caiden says with a smirk.
You're going to be more upset if the paperwork I have to do involves you.
Oh, I can make paperwork disappear. I'm very good at making things disappear, I say. And I say, that doesn't sound exactly how it was meant. And I look at Raina and I look at the captain. Not the elf captain, the captain, and say, am I correct in assuming I can trust his safety with you?
Yeah, he says, of course we shall escort his lordship home. I recommend that the rest of you also leave this area, as it is now my crime scene. Okay,
I would request that you leave station guards or some security for our lord.
Yeah. He also the paper when you unfold it has this on it for anyone who wants to read later. I'll send that across.
Thank you.
He says yes. We will. We'll make sure he gets home safe, and we'll put guards on his house, so that hopefully be unlikely to try again.
Very good. And then I will look to Phil and Loam and our captain. Sub-captain. We'll call him sub-captain when the actual real captain is around. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Well, we've got a... Oh, would you like to be Captain Beta? And he can be Captain Alpha.
No. There's only
C1 and C2?
Yeah, C1, me.
Whatever. All right. I turn to Loam and... Oh, wait, Loam's not even in the room. Okay.
She's been very noticeably quiet and has kind of put her mask back up in front of her face and covered her whole body in her cloak, traveler's cloak again. It's just kind of peeking around the corner, like listening, watching, but definitely not contributing to the conversation.
Okay, I'm going to say, Captain, I have one more request of you.
Mm-hmm.
Which captain?
The actual, the guard captain. I'm
I'm
going to call him Tony.
Yes, your lordship. His name's Captain Staggart, so yeah, he's got a name.
Tony Staggart. Anyway, Captain Stag. I have one more request of you. I have a traveling companion that I do not wish to be accosted by your guards for the way that they look.
He says, as long as they have committed no crimes, I don't see a problem. We don't discriminate. We don't racially profile in this city.
And as he says that, I'm going to gesture to Loam to, like, come to my side, sort of thing.
And she does so, yeah. But yeah, full coverage. You definitely can't really see any of her skin, anything.
He says, are they wanted? Do they have a condition? What is your name?
My name is Loam. I'm definitely not wanted. I haven't committed any crimes. She's like rambling.
Yeah, he's like, he writes the name down in his little notebook. He's like, very well. I would encourage you all to leave immediately, as this is now an active crime scene. And we need to get to the bottom of what happened here, and civilians are not welcome in an active crime scene.
Yeah, I'm going to just nod to the captain and say good day, and make my way back to that fire escape. Just say, well, if it's no different to you, I will exit the premises this way,
Loam is like a half step behind the whole time.
and I
Was it
will.
a balcony? There was.
Yeah, it was a fire escape.
Oh
balcony,
yeah,
I
it
think.
was a fire escape style.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'll
Cabin
go
to
down
the
into the alleyway.
Cool.
Cool.
Just as everyone's leaving, Ice Leeson's going to turn to the captain and be like, I can make him disappear for you if you like, to the other captain.
He says, well, I hope it won't come to that. I just keep the blood off the streets.
The captain's just going to wink and nod back at him and then take off.
Yeah.
And take off before asked his name.
Take off before he can get an order that's not. Don't make him
Don't
disappear.
murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to add that while all this has been going on, Phil has had his notebook out and has been taking a lot of notes about the dragon skeleton. He's really
yeah.
interested in what age it is and potentially what color he thinks it might be. But as everyone's getting to leave, he says his goodbyes to Reno and follows everyone out back down the fire escape.
He gives you sort of a good luck. I mean, he doesn't shake your hand when you go to leave. Like he does. He like grasps your forearm, right? Like one hand on the forearm, one hand on the shoulder, and says like, good luck. I hope you find Floon. I feel terrible if this is somehow my fault that they've taken him instead of me.
I promise you, Reno, we'll bring him home. You look up to yourself.
Will do. You too. You and you as well.
Well,
cool.
These as my companions, we should be all right.
And you all find yourselves sort of standing around in an alleyway behind the warehouse. You see there is sort of a guard that sort of comes out at one point, with their torch, kind of looks around, sees you there, and kind of like nods. After a moment, sort of recognizes who you are, what has been told, etc. And there's sort of a bustle of activity as sort of lights are being set up in the warehouse that you've just come from.
As everyone sort of regroups, I'm going to say I believe we should at least investigate, or at least have a look. Maybe not as far as investigate, but have a look in these sewers to see, as the covering seems to be a jar. A jar? Go with the jar. And I'll walk over and just move it aside.
Loam is checking out like the graffiti that was on the wall, the circle with the arrow, and just kind of wants to see like how fresh, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you kind of look over it. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, I have -1 in that. Awesome. A 4.
There's a lot of
Very smart.
There's a lot of graffiti there. In fact, you actually like lose sight of it for a moment until Phil can like repoint it out to you. Like, oh, it's kind of built into this, next to this picture of a troll dick and stuff. Like, you gotta look to the left here.
He's talking, like pointing stuff out, and I'm just kind of like, sorry, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. As I look at this thing, I'm going to quickly take notice of Loam's cloak. How would you describe Loam's cloak?
It's like, when it's not wrapped around me, it's very long, so it is just like one piece of material that's quite like white and shiny, like reflective, and just like covering her ears, her head, and wrapped fully around her body.
Caiden is going to make a note of that, and then as you see Caiden sort of nod to himself, his clothes are going to turn into a black version of that.
Cool.
To sort of cover his face and make him a little bit more, since we're going into the dark sort of thing, make him a little bit more stealthy down there. Mm-hmm. And he's going to just look at everyone and go, well,
Up to you.
let's go. I'm just going to jump down.
Shit, alright.
He's just gonna get into the at least the opening.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna cast maybe the light cantrip and see how like deep it is, if there's a ladder, at least have a cursory glance before he jumps down maybe, or if he already
That's
is.
probably a good idea.
Well, you have, as a drow, you have incredible dark vision.
Yeah.
I think your dark vision outsees everyone else here. So you definitely, like, having light actually fucks you up.
What's that?
Yeah, so you're like Riddick in Pitch Black. You know.
That's good. What a reference.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that character Riddick is based off his D&D campaign.
Really?
Nice.
That's awesome.
Especially if you watch, I think the second one, I don't know, where he fights weirdos and like turns out he's a fury and this race, it's his race that has those eyes or whatever. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's just drow. Like he's just a drow.
Makes no sense lore-wise, because he says he gets them bleached in prison in pitch black, but you know.
Yeah, but in the sequel, the young girl says she went to the prison to get them bleached, and no one knew what the fuck she was talking about. So it turns out he was just born that way.
Yeah.
Maybe he's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's sorcery.
Maybe it's Space Marine.
Right, so Caiden jumps down. Loam, you can easily see him splash into the water. And water's a generous term for what he is now standing in under the streets of Waterdeep.
The captain's going to yell down after him and say, "Does it feel like home in there?"
I am a tanned, half human, half elf. Do you think I spend my time in the dark?
Well, you look like shit.
Oh, at least you smell like it enough for both of us, my friend.
Loam just like slaps the back of Captain's head, just kind of like it's lightly. It's like scolding a child.
Touch me again and you'll get a flogging like you've never had.
And she does it again.
Just in a huff, he's just going to throw himself down the hole as well.
Does he throw himself or does he jump down?
he just throws himself down that hole. He's got no grace anymore.
How are you going to land?
Hey, we don't think about these things, all right?
Oh, no, I need to know.
As the captain jumps and Phil's still standing across from Loam above, like on the ground, she just pokes her tongue out and then jumps as well.
Phil just chuckles to himself and sort of hand to his forehead, shakes his head, and jumps down as well. And if at any point he gets any dirt or anything on his robes from walking the sewers, he's going to be constantly casting prestidigitation to keep it clean.
Yeah.
What a good spell.
I was going to say, as the captain gets close to the water, he's going to quickly cast Shape Water to clear himself a little bit of space so he can land.
Once again, how do you land?
Face first into the sewer bricks, but he's still not in the water, so it's fine.
Yeah, the water's like parting around him.
Yeah.
He's just like...
That's brilliant. All right, cool. So you find yourself in the sewers. Loam, I assume you kind of jump down last. The sewers themselves have no natural light. I assume all of you have dark vision, though, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
I took dancing classes as a cantrip, don't even need it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're all at least part elf in some regard.
Is Captain human?
Captain.
Huh?
Who?
Captain Isleyson. Is he human?
No, he's high elf.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah, so a bunch of elves or elf-like creatures
Too many knife ears.
walking down the sewers. A putrid stream flows along the sewer tunnel, which leads in two directions. In one direction, you see a tiny symbol. Loam, I think you notice it first, drawn on the wall in yellow chalk. A palm-sized circle with 10 equidistant spokes radiating from its circumference.
Oh, like the tattoos that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely points it out to the crew and says we're going in the right direction, and kind of keeps walking forward. I guess we're all keeping our eyes out, for listening for any sounds, anything like that.
Cool.
Follow the yellow signs.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Caiden's just going to, just mosey his way along with everyone else.
After an hour of following the signs through the tunnels and just sort of trudging your way through, I'm going to say because it's taken an hour, you can get... through this time, you're not doing anything super strenuous, so you can take a short rest.
Nice.
Short rest. Is there a button? Short. Oh,
There is in D&D Beyond, so you can choose how many hit dice you would like to spend, if any, to spend to recover health, and that should automatically recover any stuff you get over a short rest. I believe like Warlock spell slots come back after a short rest. Channel Divinity, I think, comes back after a short rest. Certain bard things and certain... I'm not sure if wizards get much back.
I get it up to level 2 spell slot back.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
I would have got an inspiration dice back if I'd decided to inspire anyone.
Brilliant.
So you're a bard. Okay, so we got a bard, a warlock, and a cleric. Cool.
He's not a good pirate, and he's not a good bard.
I love it. What's your instrument? Have I noticed you carrying an instrument around?
He's got a viol, which he can't play. It's one of the only instruments he can't play.
Oh, you actually played it when you cast the daggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And played is a loose term.
Loam also has a lyre on her back.
Oh yeah, cool.
While we've been walking along, have I noticed any writing on the walls?
Occasionally you come up to intersections and stuff, and there's no specific writing down here, but you do notice these sort of familiar chalk symbols.
Okay.
And it's usually marked on one of the one of the paths to go. And I assume you end up taking that, you take that path and follow it along.
Yeah, that would be correct.
Cool. All right. So after about an hour of following these signs through the tunnels, you come to a three-way intersection where a ladder leads up into a stone shaft, capped by a circular metal cover. So another one of those manhole covers. One of the familiar chalk symbols is marked on a wall nearby, and you notice floating near the symbol as you kind of are walking down this narrow corridor is a spherical, grapefruit-sized creature with a bulging central eye and 4 stumpy eye stalks.
Oh no.
What?
It bares its teeth at you as it sees you walking up. Roll initiative.
Oh no. Man.
It's another beholder light. I'm sick of these things.
I don't want to fight that.
That's a 12.
Let me go back to
I got a
Kendall Lane.
6.
We'll just I don't necessarily have a map for this, so we're going to use Theatre of the Mind.
Awesome.
For this one, let me grab each of you. Caiden, Captain, Loam, and Phil. And then we have sorry. Cool.
No, that's right there.
I've lost my gazer. Where's my tools? Here we go. go. Initiative. What's each of your... Can you each roll initiative for me, please?
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 12.
I rolled a. Ooh, very nice. That's a good one. 16.
Oh, I feel like anything double digits is good for this group.
Yep. Anything above a 5 is fantastic for me.
Oh, well,
Really?
then I got a 6, so that's great.
So Caiden, what was yours, sorry?
16.
16. Iceleeson?
12.
12. Loam?
6.
6. And Phil?
11.
Okay. The gazer sees all of you first, and... Can I roll this? Yeah. And it sort of floats there. It bares its teeth at you. Its wide eye in at the center of its head sort of opens, and its 4 sort of stalks float around, or not float, but sort of wheel around to look at each of you. The first one, 2. Okay. The first one, a lance of who's sort of leading the way through the sewers. Actually,
I'd assume it would be me,
Okay.
especially with the highest initiative.
yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely be at the rear.
Yeah, Loam would definitely not be up the front, even though she can see the furthest.
Yeah,
Probably
just
be
for-
like hanging on to Caiden's. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Just for me and Marcus's sake here, Dan, was there a map for this one?
Oh, there's not. Sorry,
There's not. Okay.
we're not in a map.
Yeah, cool. Easy.
I'll take us back to the starting page.
Cool.
Let's put us on there. Cool. That's where the other group is. And
And a dead Ymir.
a dead Ymir.
Oh, man.
Still
Rip.
there. Body rotting away.
He's
undead.
He's
now,
undead.
okay.
He's preserved. He's basically got magical formaldehyde around him at all times.
Yeah.
Keen for that comeback.
So a blue ray comes out from one of the eyes straight at you, Caiden. Please make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Yep, dex save. Bop, that one. That is a 19.
Okay, you easily sort of dodge out of the way, letting where the ray hits the water, though, sort of like the water turns to ice, and then sort of breaks up again and melts. But for a moment, sort of part of the flow is somewhat interrupted in the area where you were just standing. Captain, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as one of the eyes turns to you, and
Cool. That's a 10.
you all of a sudden are just you see that this isn't just an abomination with sort of a massive eye and 4 little eye stalks. This is maybe even a tiny dragon that has made its way into the sewer to follow you. You are frightened until the start of the gazer's next turn.
Oh,
Upon being frightened, the captain's just going to scream, "It's always dragons!"
I lost your initiatives. I'm so sorry.
I was 16.
16.
It was a 12.
11 for me.
Cool. And Loam, was it
and then this,
6? Was it?
yeah. Put
Cool.
me at the bottom.
All right, Caiden, you're up.
Upon having that, I'm assuming ray of frost, something cold towards me. Going to cast Witch Bolt at that thing. So that is a 22 to hit for 13 lightning damage.
Ooh. 22 to hit. Will definitely hit as you. What does your witch bolt look like?
It looks more like just a standardized witch bolt, but it's very demonic instead of witchy. It's demon-esque. So again, that purple, demonic, crackling, flaming energy.
Yeah, so like like a black light of lightning lances out of your arm into this creature and just crackles along it, where it sort of explodes into goop and little pieces of this aberration fling itself across to the sewer walls and then slide down the walls slowly.
Did I just delete it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, so my witch bolt is a lot more refined than my Eldritch Blast, but it's a very similar look sort of thing.
Cool.
All right, well, I look back at the party and just say, well, that takes care of that.
Eventually, you continue down the path, and there's more sewer ahead of you. I think Caiden was in front. Loam bringing up the rear.
Loam is just behind Caiden, I think.
Okay.
That seems like a good marching order.
Sure.
So are we still in 30 feet movement, or can we just move?
You can effectively just move, but as you march down, you kill this creature at that circular hub and continue down the path that is marked. What does it look like as you're making your way down the sewers?
I'm just walking along, not overly boisterous. Moving a little bit slower than usual, just being cautious. And trying to keep an eye out for any writing along the walls or more markings.
Yep.
And just slowly, just taking my time. Oh, there was something here.
Ignore that.
That's just a shadow coming through from the other. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making my way down because I've got 60 feet of dark vision.
Sure.
So I can see all the way to the end of this corridor, I'm guessing?
I believe so, yeah. So how far is that?
From where I am, yeah.
Yeah. So you can see that another one of these sort of circular areas of the sewer where there's sort of a break and then it moves north and south.
So I will advise everyone that it can go north and south and have a quick look to see if there are any more. I'm assuming they're behind me.
Sure.
So I'm just going to say it in quiet speaking voice. It looks like we can go north or south. I do believe we should look for more of these markings on the walls and then make a decision.
I'd just like to let you guys know at any point I can cast invisibility on someone if anyone wants to scout ahead. So just keep that in mind if you think that's something that you'd like to do.
Maybe we should send Caiden ahead?
Would you like me to cast invisibility on you, Caiden?
That works for me.
Well, yeah, let's do it. I touch you, and a shimmering energy comes out of my hand and starts to spread across your body, and as it does, your body fades away until there's nothing there.
Okay, so being invisible, I still make sound, do I not?
Correct, but I'll give you advantage on any stealth checks, and yeah.
Oh,
and they can't see you, so even if they hear you, they don't necessarily know where you are.
I don't know where I'm coming from, yeah. All right, well, as I turn invisible, you see my cloak changes back into that linen white shirt. So there's nothing dragging around behind me. And then I make my way in.
You see that, and then you see it disappear.
Yes, and then I just go, poof, and I'm gone. All right, so I make my way into the center and have a quick look around. Do I see any of those markings?
Give me a perception check.
Roll for me, or? Okay. 21.
Yeah, you can see there's actually sort of two slits in the walls here, one to your northwest, one to your southeast. And you see that there are goblins that are sort of stationed in those rooms, but they appear to be sort of like lying down.
Okay, but do I see any of the markings anywhere? Or is that all I see, the slits?
Yeah, you see the slits. I mean, to your southwest, you see like the sort of a bit of a step, like a path area that's out of the water, and that there's a door to your left. You also see, what was your 21? Yeah, you see that it's a bit difficult to see, but sort of further down, there's sort of a small tunnel that kind of leads off from the sewer water area.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to the party real quick and just say very quietly, as I've noticed the goblins. There's a door up to our front left through this corridor, but before we go rushing ahead, there is a goblin that I have noticed in each room. Directly on my left of this wall, there is a slit with a goblin through there, and perpendicular to that, there is also another one. I believe we should try and sneak on by, or at least deal with them before progressing.
Loam just draws her weapon and is waiting for the decision.
No, we need something ranged. I don't believe we will be able to reach through.
Ah,
I might be able to cast a magic missile at it, or a firebolt, or we could try to just
What
sneak
should
past.
we-
Are they watching through the slit?
They seem to be lying down.
So it's not like there's a guard.
I feel like they're meant to be guards. I'm standing right. I duck my head right in front of the slit and have a look through. I believe
It appears to be sleeping.
Yeah, it appears like it's asleep, and then I will just make my way over to the other one and have a look. Is this one asleep too?
Yeah, you see like you hear Caiden's voice, and then you just see the splashing in the water as he walks off again, and then the splashing in the water as he walks back. Almost like how Captain Iceleeson parted the water parts invisibly, around Caiden's invisible form of his legs. So there's these two like small pools of nothingness, pools of air essentially in the water, as he sort of sloshes back to you, and then you hear his voice again.
What was that, Kate?
What was that, Kate?
If you guys want to try and stealth across, I will go last.
I mean, they're asleep. I feel like just walk past quietly.
I'll still roll stealth check.
I do have disadvantage on stealth.
True.
You guys want
You
to
can only try.
first?
Right, I had a +5 on stealth and managed to fall over last time. So.
True. Well, I'm just gonna make my way. I'm gonna say to the guys, all right, try and sneak on by. As you get up here to the center, turn left, and then immediately to your right, there will be a door. I will meet you there.
Could I also ask, can you see any entryways in or out of the rooms that you can see from the slits?
From the slits to the direct left of this corner, I see a door on the other side of the room. And
An entryway
Yeah.
into the rooms that the goblins are in.
yes, I do. On the other side of his room. Bear with me a moment. I will be right back. I'm going to do a little bit more investigation. And I'm just going to make my way down this. Oh, there's an entryway in here. I'm going to move through here.
So you have to squeeze through,
Yeah.
to crawl, and it's quite tight. So this narrow passageway, and you're kind of scraping against the walls as you make your way through.
Stone
here.
walls. Yep.
Yeah, stone walls. Of this very narrow passageway, and inside appears to be sort of the basement of some kind of building. There's stairs going up, and a couple of barrels and some shelves and a dresser, like a drawers cupboard kind of stuff going on down here.
I'm not going to go rummaging through someone else's stuff. So Caiden's going to just make a mental note of that and then go check up to the north where he came from, and he doesn't see anything either. And then he's going to relay the message back. I found what looks to be a basement of some dwelling a little bit further down to the left, but I don't know. I really think we should investigate this door, but I don't see any clear way to get access to these goblins. So I do believe sneaking would be our best bet.
Is the door locked? Did you?
No, I'm going to check that now. I was going back to the door when I was telling them to sneak. Can I check if it's locked? And if does it look to be visibly locked or trapped or anything?
Give me a
with a investigation of -1. Still a 14.
This appears to be a door. You kind of give it the once over. There are no wires on the door. There's no obvious traps that you can see. You think you could, lift the latch and open it.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to come back over. I believe it's unlocked. Shall I open it while you sneak across, or shall I wait for you and then open it?
I'm
gonna say just so I'm gonna say like 10 minutes has probably gone by the time you've explored and all that kind of stuff. The invisibility lasts an hour, so you're not getting into it massively. I'm just I think they're
just to
calling
keep track.
around and, just in case you stay here planning for 50 more minutes.
Yeah. Right. Well, so what does everyone think? Do I open the door, or do I wait for everyone to get to me and then open the door?
Well, either you can try to make the most out of the invisibility and stealthily open it and go in yourself. Sorry to speak over you, Kate.
No, you're good.
Or we just all go in.
That's a fantastic idea. I'm going to open the door while I'm still invisible.
Okay. The door opens.
Open.
Inside is a corridor, and you see another one of those sort of murder slits, so those arrow slits leading forward, and you can kind of just see into.
Okay, and then I'm going to open the other door quietly.
Sure. Give me a stealth check with advantage.
Yeah. That's a 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're able to open the door. You kind of lift the latch slowly, open it up. The door it creaks a little bit, but you're able to kind of hide the sound somewhat.
I fart to cover the sound.
So does the goblin in the other room.
Yes, exactly. So we're good. So I come in.
You see below to your left is a very messy room. Sort of rusty weapons and threadbare clothing litter the floor of this area. It seems like people just kind of throw stuff in here. There's a lot of broken and tattered clothing, some coats, things like that. Broken or rusted weaponry.
Yep. I'm going to immediately turn right. Oh, I can't. There we go. I have to move one at a time. And creep on over to this goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping. And can I please do the murder?
Okay. So this will break invisibility. But essentially you make an attack roll with advantage.
Yep.
And if you hit, because he's unconscious, it's a crit, regardless.
Very good. Well, advantage on my weapon that is still active in my hand. That is a 19 for 6 damage.
Describe it to me.
Basically, I let the chain extend down a little bit until I'm holding the pointed bit. While the scythe is wrapped around my arm, the blade isn't as curved. It's more of a straight blade, like a dagger, or more like a scorpion stinger type dagger.
Oh yeah.
And I just stab him in the, put my hand over his mouth and stab him through the throat.
Yeah, as you put it in, his eyes kind of open wide, and he tries to scream against your hand and kind of thrash about, and then goes limp.
And all the while of him doing this, I'm just sitting there going, shh.
as you
Brutal.
appear visible again.
And I'm going to make my way back to the group, around to this. And I'm slowly going to make my way to this murder slit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to grab out my, apparate a crossbow instead of my dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And try to do the murder on this one too.
Okay. Make an attack roll again with advantage, but he's technically has a higher AC because actually no, it's not even with advantage because he's prone and he's behind. He's it's easier for him to shoot you from this angle than it is for you to shoot him, if that makes sense. Even though he's not shooting you because he's just the angle of this wall. You have to get right up to it, try and put essentially your crossbow up against this narrow slit, so you don't have a good aim of a tender spot to hit. So it's going to be a regular attack, but if you do hit, it is still a crit.
Okay. Well, we'll give that a red hot go. Wait a minute, what do we got? You know what? I'm not even going to use that crossbow. Disregard apparating a crossbow. I'm just going to Eldritch Blast the fuck out of him.
Sure. All right, same thing.
There's a 13 to hit for 8.
Yeah, so you are trying to get your hand in through the crack in the wall. Your hand's a bit cramped, trying to get it through and get the game right, and boom, you unleash a blast of eldritch lightning. And
I would use my chain weapon and slink that through, and then cast from the end of that because I do have improved pact weapon, so I can use that as my magical focus.
Okay. Either way, you sort of whip it forward then through the crack to try and hit him with it. It, despite it being an ethereal thing, there's sort of a jolt of sound as obviously the verbal component of your Eldritch Blast as well. You have to let it fly. The goblin kind of wakes up in a start and you narrowly miss hitting him with it. And he sort of comes up and he's like, what? And starts screaming in goblin. We're going to reroll.
I'm just going to quickly duck my head around the corner and just say, my bad. And then duck back and I'll roll my initiative.
I think we're pretty good up to that point.
Yeah. This is what happens when I go rogue.
I just rolled a 6 for my initiative again.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Give you something else next time.
Isolate.
22.
Woo. Loam, what was yours?
I got a 6.
You're really not quick on the uptake, are you?
No, she's just having fun.
Always distracted. I got a 7.
You and Loam are just checking out the chalk marks on the wall and going oh, what's this? Studying the gazer remains.
Yeah, the captain's just been toey for some action because he's sick of standing there.
Yeah.
And
Captain,
he's
you're
slapped in the head twice. He's very annoying.
It is your turn in the initiative, Captain.
Cool. So if I was to step behind Caiden, would I be able to see through the slit as well?
Well, you're going to have to walk out there and find out. But I think so.
Okay, so I'm going to walk out to the behind Caiden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can see behind him there's sort of a goblin that's kind of sprung to the side, still lying down, but he's grabbed a short bow, he's in the process of grabbing a short bow.
So I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a Wisdom saving throw from him.
Look, it's not his strongest save.
No.
5.
Did that not roll? Why did that not roll? Here. And then he takes 14 damage.
What do you whisper to him?
I'm going to tell him that his mother sleeps with 3 orcs at the same time, and his father never loved him.
He clutches his head and kind of wails, Mama come, and then just collapse to the ground.
Oh, he got murdered.
Yep.
Nice.
Caiden, you see him clutch his head and collapse to the ground dead.
Get wrecked.
Cool.
It's almost upsetting that no one else can hear these insults he's hurling at people.
Yeah, to everyone else, it just sounds like you're muttering to yourself, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a crazy person.
But that kind of fits. Like it's sort of like foul old Ron. If anyone's it's like bugger it, Millennium Hand and Shrimp. I fucking told him. Bloody knife this.
Then Caiden is going to just say to everyone now, follow me.
Yeah, which way are we going?
Are we still in initiative?
We're kind of out of initiative at the moment, but I'm just going to keep your initiative rolls, just in case.
Cool.
Just in case they come in handy.
Was there an upstairs in both of those rooms?
You couldn't get into the other room.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't get through because it was a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And while this is happening, I just want to rummage through the bin room.
Mm-hmm.
See if I find anything of note, anything magical that might be floating around.
Just greasy leathers and threadbare clothes.
Okay, well, that's useless. I'm gonna make my way back to the murder slit in the other room and stick my head, I can just say, through the slit. Through here, guys, there's a door over there to the right.
Yeah, I think we would have followed you through.
Sure.
True.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
keeping our eye out for any yellow circles and arrows.
The captain, being quite fed up with how slow going things are, is going to proceed down the stairs ahead of everyone.
Yeah. I think this is up the stairs.
No, up the stairs.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, right? Cool. So you kind of brush past Caiden.
Yeah.
Cool. So the... Oh, you want to search the goblin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play through. See if we had any information on him or anything.
You find 2 copper pieces in his pouch.
Oh, awesome. I flick him to Captain.
Without missing a beat, just swipes him out of the air, straight in the pocket, and keeps going.
Yeah. You head up the stairs and follow this corridor along. Obviously, it doesn't look like there's water in this corridor. This is just how my map works. As you continue along, you come across an empty sleeping area. This room ahead of you contains 6 tattered straw-stuffed mattresses. Currently, there are no occupants in this area. There is a door on the opposite corner of this room, though.
Well, I'll pull it through as well. I just can't move my character.
Yeah, of course, sorry.
Well, I'm gonna look at the captain and say, since you wish to be ahead, would you like to go through the door?
Captain, I'm not thick in the head like you. I don't go down kicking every door I see. Go on through, you landlubber.
Gonna open the door. And I'm also gonna lean back and say, I do believe I've done quite some travel at sea, my friend. Don't quite like the land anymore.
I love the Caiden's just the door guy.
Caiden's just the guy that is the front man. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, what's up? I also believe that Caiden has the highest HP out of anyone.
I think he does.
So how does Caiden open the door? Does he
He just sort of like puts his hand on. Look, judging by what I can see, he kicks it.
Yeah,
He's kicked it every other time.
He's kicked it every other time? Yeah, that's...
True.
Boots it. Like, I like to imagine like I've kicked it so hard that it's like swung open, hit the wall, and then swung back closed.
Give me an athletics check. I want to see if that's true.
Okay. Not my strongest. Yeah, no, that's an 8.
No. You kick the door and it just sort of and like half opens.
Nice. Alright, well, I poke my head in. I see them. I poke my head back outside and say, guys?
In there, you see the room beyond has again sort of tattered straw-stuffed mattresses. A dark dwarf, a Duragar, who looks like this for everyone playing at home. Sort of bald, big white beard, sort of dark grayish skin and, wielding a big old like Warhammer pick thing. The other person you notice is a human and looks very familiar. Last you saw him, he was getting his ass beat in the Yawning Portal by Yagra. They both turn to you and are, like, they've obviously been in some kind of like conversation, a heated argument. They both turn to you and are like, "What the fuck? Oh, it's you guys!" and just draw their weapons.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to the human, we just keep finding each other here, don't we? And these interesting circumstances where you are going to get your face beat in, my friend.
All right. Is that your entire turn?
No, it's my turn still. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna target
I'll allow
him.
you to kick down that door as your free action.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm just going to target hit. Which one looks to be the biggest threat out of the two? Which one looks like they could do the most damage to me? Like sizing them up, and just at a quick glance.
Sure. Probably the guy that you saw Yagra beating the shit out of. He's got a big scimitar on his belt. I mean, the other guy's got a big war pick, but he's, sort of half the size. I don't know how worried, but he's also wearing armor. So, 6 half of one, half dozen of the other.
All right, cool. Well, the human that I met earlier that I said I was going to beat the fuck out of, I'm going to throw my final spell slot and throw a witch bolt at him.
Sure.
That is an 18 to hit for 2, apparently.
18 does hit, and 2 lightning damage it is. Does this happen on a witch bolt, or is it just like super random?
Blah, blah, blah. Beam of crackling blue energy lances out forward towards the creature, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack against that creature on a hit. The target takes 1d12, or 2d12 because it's at second level, on each turn, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay, but you can, instead of having to hit again next turn, you can keep using your action to keep shocking him.
Yes.
Cool. And it requires concentration. Got it.
Yes.
All right, cool.
That means, judging by that description, I have to change the description of the witch bolt. The witch bolt now is like a lightning.
It's like a lightning whip, right?
Whip.
That hits,
It just
cool.
sits like a lightning strand of twine along the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That just would be like wrapped around his ankle or something.
On a side note, because we're streaming on Twitch and YouTube, someone left a comment in the YouTube chat. I'm not sure if you saw it, Kate, or if you're watching the it'll only show up like on stream. From Dick Sensei, if
Nice.
looks could kill, you'd be a weapon of mass destruction, miss. I assume he's that. I assume that's aimed at Kate.
Definitly me.
That'd be about
Definitely
me.
aimed at DB.
Which one of you is it? Which one of you is Dick Sensei? Own up. Cool.
I wish. That's a fucking great name.
It's a cool name.
I wish I was that creative.
The Duragar sort of runs into the corner, Caiden, and grabs a. What's he got? What's he got? 1, 2, 2. Alright. He's gonna sort of rush over and try and hit you with his big old war pick.
Okay.
That's a 21. That definitely hits.
It's just 4 damage though.
Okay, but because he... Oh, no, I can't. Damn it, because I used my witch bolt. 4 damage.
All right. The other guy, the guy you saw get into the fight, you may remember his name was Krensk, or Krenzt.
Called him Kransky.
Okay. He sort of pulls the scimitar out of his belt and a dagger in the other hand, and also rushes over to you. With the scimitar, he strikes for 8. Missing, you're able to kind of parry it with your sort of ethereal chain. The other one, though, with the dagger, comes in for a 16 to hit.
Yep, that one hits for 5.
5 piercing damage.
Yep, do I have to make a con save for my concentration?
Yes, you do, please. Now, I believe a concentration check is half the damage or 10, whatever's higher.
Well, that I break concentration immediately.
The lightning tether between you and Krentz fades out as we go to Phil's turn.
Okay. Am I going to be able to shoot through Caiden?
Yes, your allies don't provide cover to enemies.
Awesome. Then I will get within visual range of the Drago.
Yep. You have a clear view of this Duragar.
Durga, that's how you say
Or
it.
Draugar.
Okay.
I mean, maybe the elves say it differently. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. And then I will just cast the old firebolt on it.
Sure thing, chicken wing.
Spicy dwarf.
Oh, that's not too bad. We got
Frosty dwarf.
a dirty 20 to hit.
Absolutely, that'll hit.
They've been pretty measly motes of fire though this whole time, so hopefully I can actually do some real damage. Oh, 3 damage.
Just flicking candle flames at them.
Yeah, seriously, it's been pretty bad.
Throwing hot wax.
I didn't take many damaging spells. I'm more of a utility wizard, so.
That's fine. Anything else out of Phil?
That's all for now, I think. Yeah,
All good.
I'll have my time.
Loam, you hear the sounds of battle as Caiden's enters into combat with these two.
Can I bonus action but then hold my main action?
I'll allow it. Sure. What are you trying to do?
So I want to Shield of Faith Caiden. But then I want to hold my main action for if they walk into the room. I want to cast Bane.
Okay. I mean, you could, I think, get visual on them by moving into this corner, down here, if you wanted to cast Bane on them now.
I cast Bane on all 3.
There's just 2 enemies.
Oh, there's 2. Okay, yeah. I'll move over into the corner and cast Bane on them.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just get right behind Caiden if you're ready to kind of jump in.
But yeah, I'm happy to do that. Close range fighter, called that. So I will move up right behind Caiden, cast Bane on the 2 enemies.
Now, is Bane a spell?
It's I don't. They just now they have to make a charisma saving throw.
Yep.
And then before any attack roll or saving throw, they take a D4 and subtract that from their roll if they fail.
But it's not a cantrip, is what I'm saying.
No.
It's a spell. Yeah, it's first level spell.
So you can't do both Shield of Faith and Bane on the same turn.
Oh, so even though Shield of Faith is a bonus?
Mhm.
Correct, because you can't cast 2
Still a spell.
spells that require spell slots on the same turn.
No, that's cool. I'll cast Bane.
Okay. All right, hit it. So they have to make a charisma save.
Yeah.
So,
DC 13.
love a good bit. Do you have bless as well?
No.
The Krenst is pretty chill about it. He sort of shrugs it off. But the Duragar is heavily afflicted. In fact, so much so that he crit failed. So I'm going to bump that up to a D6 that he's going to just subtract from his attack rolls and saving throws from now on.
Amazing.
Put that on him to mark him. Anything else from Loam? And what does Bane sound like in terms of it? Is this a spell kind of prayer? You're asking for Illustre's gaze to be upon them. How does this look?
Yeah, so it's VSM and a drop of blood. So she, with her scimitar, her dancing blade already drawn, which is already shiny and glistening and constantly moving, she just cuts the back of her hand and then maybe splatters it towards the enemy.
Yeah. And the Duragar, sort of frightened that, he sees a drow, which he is very familiar with, drow, casting evil magics upon him. He's unable to sort of, he's just unable to deal, and freaks out a bit. He's baned for sure. Iceland.
Alrighty. So the captain's going to step behind everyone. Maybe, yeah, cool. Step behind everyone, and he's going to cast Vicious Mockery at the Duragar.
Mm-hmm.
So it says unleash.
So is that a wisdom saving throw on his end?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
Cool. So wisdom saving throw, and then minus a d6. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's only got a 6 anyway. Cool. So what happens? What is the insult, and then how much damage does he take?
So on the topic, because he's just really obsessed with orcs right now. He's going to tell the Duragar that his mother eloped with an orc, and that he's the adopted child of a stinky goblin.
Mm-hmm.
And that I roll, and that does 1 damage.
Nice. And I believe he has disadvantage on his next attack. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Caiden. Unless there's anything else from Iceland.
No, that's it.
Cool. Caiden.
All right. Caiden is going to look. Caiden's going to continue targeting the human.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't like the human. I'm also going to use my D6 inspiration that I redeemed.
Okay.
On this roll.
Sweet. Okay. Sorry, I haven't been tracking there. It's been so long.
Yeah,
since
no,
we've done
I
this
just
stuff.
added it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just redeemed it, so.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go complete card.
I'm going to use that as well. We're going to roll for a weapon attack. That is a 19 to hit, and then I'm going to roll my /roll 1d6 because I have to. Yep, that is a 25 to hit for 9 damage. Unless I can't apply.
No, that'll definitely hit.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I can't apply that 6 to my damage, can I?
No, unfortunately.
I didn't think so. No, for 9 damage.
Cool.
And then I don't really have any. Yep, okay, and I'm also, with my bonus action, going to cast my Hexblade's Curse on him.
What does that do?
I get a +2 bonus to damage rolls, score a critical on a 9. Oh, god damn it, I should have used it first.
Is that you get a critical on a 19 or 20? That means 19 or 20 on the dice, not a dirty 19. So.
True. Okay. Well, yeah.
I'll add 2 damage to him. I'll add 2 damage to him because you would have. I mean, Caiden would have known to do that in the right order.
Yes. All right. Yep. Well, there we go. I use my Hexblade's Curse on him as well, and I end my turn because there's not much else I can do.
Mm-hmm. So he is cursed. Let's put a little curse symbol on it. What does that do? If the curse ends early, if the target dies or you die, until the curse ends, you gain bonus damage rolls. Any attack you make, critical hit, and if they die, you regain hit points equal to your warlock level plus charisma modifier. Cool.
Yep.
Wicked. The Duragar, not stoked about this, being baned, being vicious mockeried, etc. What is his? He's gonna step back, letting you get an attack of opportunity, Caiden.
Yeah, we're going to do that for sure. That's a 15 to hit.
I will not hit, I'm afraid.
Heavily armored.
He is. He's sort of. You notice he's he's an armored boy. He's a big dwarf boy. And I say big, but he's sort of like half your size. Until you notice he's growing, and he starts growing and growing.
Caiden's gonna yell, Master Roshi, fuck off.
And he sort of just starts taking up more and more space in this room. The other guy, the Krenst, is going to step forward though and try and take a swipe at you with the scimitar.
That iron skimmy just ain't enough, bud.
No. And then, but, you know, maybe he was just feigning to get your chain out of the way so he could hit with the dagger. 17
That
hit.
one will hit. Yeah, that'll take 4 off me. Rune dagger.
Cool.
Phil.
You
My
just got
turn?
you just got DDS spec, Dill.
Rude, dude. Rude.
Okay, well, having him step up, I guess I will now try to firebolt him.
Mhm.
Just constant summoning tiny little balls of fire in my leather gloves. It's been pretty bad so far. Can I hit? Oh, that's not a great roll. 10 to hit.
10 will not hit, I'm afraid.
I think so. Well,
I'm
so
imagining,
that's my turn.
is the firebolt like I'm imagining this, it doesn't have to be this, but like Full Metal Alchemist, you know, the Flame Alchemist, the one with the the gloves that you can like flick his fingers and cause fire.
Haven't seen it.
Oh no, my entire life is anime references. How can we communicate?
I've only watched some of them, Dan.
See, all I
Sorry.
can imagine is this time you've made a proper size fireball and you're so surprised about it that you just like let it go.
Roll it at the wall. Yeah, yeah, accurate. Yeah,
Ah!
trying so hard. It's
What
not
the hell
just
was
a
that?
tiny little dust mote of flame.
Cool. All right, Loam.
Can I step up and attack?
Caiden's in the way. You can try and squeeze into his space.
Awkward stitch.
Let me squeezing. Creature can squeeze into a space that is large enough for. Yeah, I think you can squeeze onto the same space as him, but you have disadvantage on attack rolls and dex saving throws. And any attacks against each of you are going to have advantage because you're both you can't move around a lot, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I will instead cast Flaming Spear, and I want to cast it up, where it's touching both of them. So a 5-foot diameter spear of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice, and lasts for 1 minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the spear must make a dexterity saving throw and take 5 damage.
Cool. Yeah, so you're able to drop it between the two of them. So essentially right on top of both of them. So any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the spear must make a dexterity saving throw. Cool. So that'll be on their turn.
Yeah.
As a bonus action, you can move the sphere up to 30 feet. If you ram the sphere into a creature... Oh, wait, it has to be in an unoccupied space. Hold on.
You could have bonus action moved it there.
Yeah, so I'm putting it on above where they are.
Yeah. How big was it again? The 5-foot diameter. So it just takes up a square that they are next to. Is this not? Cool. Whatever. Yeah.
Underrated spell. Do like that one. Doesn't get used a lot.
Does anyone need me to get out of the way, by the way?
Look, everyone's in the way. We're fighting in a doorway. But they're going to be forced to move or take damage, so that might change things. We'll see how they react.
The captain would very much like everyone to get out of the way because he only has a rapier and dagger.
So you can
I'm
now
just gonna
use... Oh, sorry. I was gonna say you could use your bonus action now to ram the sphere into one of them, so that they have to do it. Like they have to do the saving throw now as well.
Oh, 100%. I will do that to the big dude.
Big dude. Okay. So he's
I feel
gonna
like
make
he's got no deck.
Dex saving throw, and well, that was a 20.
Oh, geez. All right. He saves.
Yeah, even with the -6, it's not going to matter for him. But he takes half. Do you want to roll 2d6 fire damage for me?
2d6. Oh, 4.
He takes 4 damage. Not nothing. All right, Captain.
And I do want to move out of the way, so if I can just like take a 5-foot step like up north of where I am.
Sure.
And I'm done.
Cool. Captain Ice-Leeson.
Cool. Being stingy with his spells, he's just going to hurl some mockery at the human that's standing in front of Caiden now. Cast vicious mockery, so wisdom saving throw for him.
Yep. It's 18 to save.
Yeah, that saves.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just he's just thoroughly perturbed by my call suggesting that he sleeps with rats and goblins.
Yeah. Any bardic inspirations or anything like that?
I don't know if I like them enough.
Yeah, I get it. You get it.
Feeling is mutual, Captain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ice-Leeson will say your door kicking skills are impeccable, Caiden. Maybe you should use that to kick them, as his way to inspire him to perform better.
And is Captain Ice-Leeson, what kind of what can that bardic inspiration do? Is he a law bard, valor bard? Like, what's the?
That's a good question. What do I have him as? Where would it say it in Roll20? Do you know?
Features and traits?
Yep.
Probably.
I think you can. Oh no, I've got a College of Whispers in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, which is why he's got.
If you click on yourself at the top left, it does open it and tell you what, like, domain, everything.
Yeah, I don't think College of Whispers gives me anything special on my bardic inspiration. It just gives me things
Not
I can
for
use
him.
it for.
It does for you. If you attack someone, you can add damage with
with Words of
Inspiration,
Terror
yeah.
and Physic Blades and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Caiden can add this hit dice. Oh, so this bardic inspiration dice to his attack roll if he chooses.
Can you use it on saving throws as well?
Yes, any d20 roll, effectively. Ability check,
cool.
attack roll, or saving throw. And this can be added after seeing the roll. So these ones can be added afterwards. So they're more special. Speaking of Caiden, it's his turn.
Upon gaining the bardic inspiration, he's going to turn. Why would I kick when I can just do this? And then he's going to loosen the chain and let it extend out to its full size. And bring down the pain.
Yeah. So 22 to hit. Will
For
definitely
11.
hit. And it's actually 13 because of the.
Oh, true, because he's
because of
hexed.
the cursed, yes. The Krentz, the bandit, this sort of gang member, definitely not looking great. Sort of barely clinging onto life here. Sort of trying to hold the dagger up. His arms kind of drooping down a bit as you just washed him in this with this scythe, this chain scythe. He's still standing, but barely.
Okay, I'm going to look back at the captain and say, "See, no need for kicks here. I'm just going to end my turn again."
All right. The Duragar behind the Krentz sort of picks up a javelin in his sort of giant grasp, and he's going to try and throw it at you. Now, is at a disadvantage because of the vicious mockery he received earlier, and he also gets a minus d6 because of the Bane.
And he takes damage on his turn, right?
End of turn.
End of turn.
Ah, yes. Yeah, at the end of his turn. So a 4 to hit, I assume, will not. He sort of throws it and just goes flying past you and Phil and sort of clatters into the far room. And he sort of just looks at his hands as, you know, the outline of moonlight around him, kind of making his moves feel sluggish and slow. And he's going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Again with a minus d6. So that's what? 7. Do you want to roll the damage for me, please, Loam?
Yeah, I rolled it.
What was it, sorry?
I rolled a 9.
Oh, 9 damage. So he tries to sort of duck out of the way of this flaming sphere, but it's just sort of burning him, holding him here in the room. And he realizes that he's too big to escape being next to this thing.
That's so good.
And he's kind of like looking around the room in a panic, unable to find a way out. No longer has the vicious mockery, but he is still baned. The Krantz sort of like on fire from the flaming sphere, from your stuff, Caiden. He kind of, with the last burst of his life, kind of leaps forward at you in a bit of a blind rage, and he's going to attack you with his scimitar. Again, 12 to hit. You parry it easily, but in doing so, leave yourself open for the dagger that comes in through, aimed at your ribs for a 7 crit.
Yep. Damage.
Can you roll damage for the flaming sphere again, please, Loam?
Yes.
As he tries to sort of duck out of the way of it.
5 for that one.
And okay, so he takes half damage. Will be generous and yeah. So he so we round up. He sort of leaps out of the way. He sort of leapt forward and tries to like collapse onto you, Caiden. I assume you're still standing.
Yep.
Yeah. So he tries to rush into you to get away from the fire, and he's attacking you as much to like to kill you as to get away from the fireball and sort of rush past you away from the flames, because he can't go past the sort of giant creature behind him. And in doing that, you sort of take the hit, but then sort of are able to push him back into the room where he just like bursts into flames and then collapses on the ground.
Correct.
Dude, this flaming spear is like OG. Amazing. Best use of it.
Phil?
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Phil is sick of missing and doing measly damage, so instead of his usual firebolt, he is going to cast something that can't miss, and he's going to cast a magic missile at 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That way he feels like he's being a little bit more useful. So in one in each hand, he summons... what color is magic missile? I'm going to make mine green.
Sure.
2 green bolts that he shoots across the room, 1 out of each hand, and I just have to roll for damage.
Is it 2 or 3 bolts?
You get 1 per level.
That starts off, I think there's a minimum, right?
It starts off at 3,
Oh, you start
and
off
then
with
you
3?
get 1 more
Yeah.
per spell level.
Oh, heck yeah. Then I'm going to just use 3 and not cast it at level 2. I'm going to cast it at level 1. Sorry, I misread that. That's way
cool.
better.
Yeah, so the
So
floor of
3.
it is really good. So you roll 3d4, I think?
Yeah. 3, 3, and 2. With
And is there
a
any
total
plus on that, or is it
of
just the
8.
d4s?
That's with the plus. I rolled it with the plus. There's a +1 for each
So
of them.
3, 3, and 8?
3, 3, and 2, so a total of 8.
Ah, okay, yeah. How do you want to do this?
Yes. Oh, so good. Okay. How do I want to do this? I just want the bolts to just like pierce straight into his body as he's struggling with the fire. His beard's like getting singed from this flaming sphere, and just the green glowing energy just sort of burns into his flesh.
Yeah, so
collapses
just
to
like
the
a
ground.
bang, bang, bang. The force like pushes him back. He's sort of trying to fight against the flame ball in the room as well. And sort of the 3 bolts hit him, and the third one kind of knocks him off his feet onto his back, and then he starts shrinking back down to his regular size, and you realize that he's dead.
Yeah. Oh, first kill of the game. So good. I feel amazing.
Cool. I wonder if actually Caiden should have been making deck saves against the fireball too, but we've come too far now.
Oh, shit.
Technically, I'm outside of the room.
Yeah, but you're still technically
You're in
next to it. I'd
range.
probably give you advantage, but it's fine.
Actually-
We've come too far.
I can make the roll if you. Oh wait, I
No,
still
no,
get
no.
that 8. I get 8 HP back
Yeah. You get 8 HP from
from that boy dying.
the boy dying. Cool. So yeah, you see into the room. Loam, I assume you dismiss the fireball. It has burnt away some of the straw-stuffed mattresses, and there's sort of the stink of burning flesh in this room. You see as well that in this room there's 2 sort of exits across the hall from you, Caiden. The south entrance is just sort of a regular door. The one to the north, though, appears to have a bunch of furniture pushed up against it, as if to build a barricade.
I'm interested in that. I'm gonna advise everyone really quick that once we get into this room, that I require some healing, if that is at all possible.
Yeah, thanks for taking the front line there, Caiden.
The battering ram, the warlock battering ram. All right, that's what I am.
Did you need some healing?
Yes, please, Loam.
Huh? Yes, please?
Yes, please.
I am going to. What have I got here at my disposal? Healing word at 2nd level. Oh, so you get 2d4, I think.
Does Ice Slicer have any cure wounds?
He does, but he doesn't like Caiden that much.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, okay.
Understandable. I get it. I understand. 3, so 5 HP in total. Very good. 5, yeah. Apply. Cool. Thank you very much. Upon receiving that, I'm going to point out that there's a barricade against this door. Can I hear anything on the other side of this door?
Give me a perception check.
I'm going to add that D6 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a D6 or a D4?
I think it's a D6
For the
bardic
bardic.
inspiration.
Yep. All right, so I'll roll that. So that is a total of 20. Dirty 20.
You hear the sounds of plumbing. Maybe, the rush of water and the occasional clink. Smells pretty bad, though, actually. With that perception check, you definitely get a bad whiff. Like clogged toilet kind of smell.
All right, I'm going to take a step back and just take a seat on one of the beds that's still a bed.
Ugh, immediately covered in bed bugs.
Yeah, I mean, I can deal with that magically. That's fine. I'm just gonna say to the captain, "This door's all you, bud."
The captain, being the sensible man that he is, leaves the room.
Okay.
Through
In
the
which-
door or through the other door?
In which direction?
Through the one that we came through, all right? Ain't got a
Alright.
bar of it.
I'd like to check behind the door if no one else is, because hey, my friend is lost, and he might be behind his
Exactly.
barricaded door, dead and rotting, and that's what the smell is. So I'm gonna check it out.
Captain's just muttering about every door has led to death. These idiots.
We ain't dead, and you took up a dangerous job for some coin, man. What do you expect?
I'm just gonna say, isn't your name Murder Song in the common tongue? I thought you would enjoy being surrounded by death.
There's a reason behind that name, and it ain't about me enjoying it. It's probably the most serious he sounded the whole time as he's walking away.
Caiden's going to have a little bit of a newfound respect and just go, very well, I understand.
Sorry, I can't seem to delete those things. So what are you doing?
Equations!
I would like to pull the barricade away from the door and open it.
Okay. Takes you takes you a few minutes if you're doing it alone. You start.
I'll assist. Assist with moving it away.
Yeah, so you, Caiden, Loam, start pulling away the pieces of furniture. There's some chairs and some pallets and things like that are pulled away from it. Eventually, you're able to open the door, or get to the door behind it, I should say, and open it if you wish.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about traps or anything. I'm worried about my friend. I'm just gonna open it.
Cool. You open the door, and inside is a hole in the floor that leads to a cesspit, and inside is a grey ooze that has soon come up and filled this room. Inside the ooze, floating, are the bones of goblins that have formed its prey. Their weapons lie on the floor nearby, and that is where we'll end it this week.
Why does it have to always be an ooze?
Anyway, where there's a smell of shit's gonna be ooze.
I know, but I am so sick of gelatinous cubes, oozes, and puddings.
A lot of cool shits, man.
The bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Thanks for the stash, Dan.
No worries. Hope you all enjoyed it. I know it was very long between drinks for this particular story, but now that we're back in lockdown, maybe there's more opportunities.
Yes, and now I have to update 2 character sheets as we go along.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be involved. I haven't played a game for so long, so it was really nice having the opportunity to. Thanks, Dan.
I could stop asking when Captain every 3 minutes.
Well, I feel like it's going to be, it'll be every 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
Any questions, queries, any comments from the cast here? No?
When's the next set?
Yeah.
Right.
When's Captain?
I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
Neither am I.
I'm not either.
Same.
Oh yeah, you know. All right.
Same.
Well, look, let's tentatively put in maybe tomorrow afternoon. We'll come back and continue on, right? I got to make sure that I do the good boyfriend duties and so on. But if anyone's still watching, come back maybe same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. We might be able to do maybe a bit earlier tomorrow if possible. I know, Aaron, you usually have to have family dinners and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. If we start earlier, it's okay because then family dinner isn't normally until after 7.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so either we'll try and go from lunch onwards, or from the evening onwards. Duke. I assume that's Steve. No more walks tomorrow, Steve. It's just all D&D, back and forth the whole time. So thank you, Caiden, Captain, and Volothamp.
Nice.
I like that you could say that one, but Ice, Lise, and Ada, you just look,
I only have Captain Ice Leeson on my screen. It's still good though.
That's why my name is simple, Caiden.
Yeah.
Minus 4 letters, I win.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I will I'll end the stream there. There was a couple of people who subbed, so thank you very much to Buds, who I know was in the chat. I think there was a bunch of other people who sent stuff over too. Lots of love to, I think we saw everyone in there. I think Timmy, Josh, etc. So thank you all for stopping by.
Yeah.
You.
Good night, fam. Oh, it's a little puppy.
Hey, Noodle. Noodle.
Hey, Noodle.
Noodle.
Night, Noodle.
He's like, bro, what?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I said Noodle, not Google. Google Home's going off.